Man. Man, y'all, man, Chuck crazy, man. Got me laughing. I ain't even start the show out, man. Let me start this show up, man. The people start to come in here, man. Let me get it going. Got a good one today. Got a good one. Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Let me see.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie. A well-organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth. Every time, who we?
A pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Who do you believe in? People bringing misinformation when that information ain't disinformation. That's disinformation. Gotta know the difference in information. Get information with the pseudo killer army hunting pseudo. Cause you gotta train your mind to fight against them pseudo judo. People with the scholarship salute, we give them kudos. But the people with that look of shit, we look and see straight through those like telescope. If you ain't speaking fast, we gotta tell them folks and let them know the truth of. You bringing malinformation to blast, then you the Ku Klux. Like say, don't talk me to death, bro, what the proof of? Good choo-choo chillin', why you wanna go way bad choo-choo up? Shalom boy got the tank in the cut. I'm in Sosa world plotting on the kick though with Kent. Come in Tiffany gave me the pseudo names on the list and said went and got the low. Anthony got him in the scope, Gullah and Gozy make sure DNA ain't a problem for them folks. Cause a pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Hey.
We're not attacking individuals. We're attacking the information and attacking the methodology. This is long time coming right here. Let them know that we right there, running neck and neck with all other communities. We will not be left behind.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing the house. And I come to do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? Man, we got a good one today, man. Man, did y'all hear the song that I just played, man? Big up the Fontaine, man. Them words hold true. All right? Man, we not attacking the individual, man. We attacking the information, man. And you know, I had a lot of friends over the years, man. I still got love in my heart for them. But we had a mandate, and the mandate was clear, man. And that's deal with the pseudos. And it was a certain way we did it. We did it with the scholarship to the best of our ability. And we never act like we was the experts because we clearly understood what the experts was. We studied enough to understand where and how your work should be submitted for consideration, and we knew we never could overturn the field without expertise behind us, not with our mouth service, not with our fancy talk, not with our great writing skills, none of that. Not even just publishing books that one going to do it, and we understood that very clear. The message was solid. And so I hear a lot of people talking reckless about me, reckless about certain people, Oh, you always breaking up with your friends. Man, that's not true, man. I still got love in my heart for all of them. Only one I really don't mess with is Wild Chief X. Everybody else, man, members of the Amaral squad, man, hey, y'all know what it is, man. Still love the Mossy clan. Yeah, I mean, man, come on, that's my baby, man. Nahisi, yeah, I'm saying, one of the co-founders. Brother Ben, one of the co-founders. Man, hey, Sean, Warrior, Kofi, all of them. Hey, man, and y'all know the grand champion of them all, the pseudo killers. And big up to the pseudo killers, man. We double streaming. So I ain't never broke up with my internet friends in real life. Like, I ain't trying to beef with them in real life because it never was a beef. We had a mandate, and the mandate was, man, keep that shit straight, man. We the posse. So now the posse can't start doing what we was fighting against. Don't make no sense. So y'all can just trace the arguments, right? It always boiled down to people playing expert at all times on all subjects and underestimating what we had taught each other. Ain't got nothing to do with the friendship, nothing to do with that at all, because I got love in my heart. Today, y'all see the title, Chuck Morgan and Asar. When did the beef get started? One thing about Chuck Morgan, man, he never chose no sides, yo. He never got in the middle of it between me and Asar. He never did it. He never got in the middle of it between me and Wu Jia. He never did it. He never chose sides. I be mad as shit at him, man. Come on, man. You know these niggas tripping, man. Like, nah, I ain't in that, man. Come on, yo. Y'all gonna work through it. So tonight, we trying to figure out how the beef gets started. How does this fit in the scholarship? We just don't do no shows banging on the individual. We bang on the information, man. Because it ain't personal. It's just business. And when they catch me slipping, they're going to be on my head too. Man, Asar been slipping for a while, man. It's the truth. It's my man, but he be slipping on a scholarship. So, you know what I'm saying? First of all, before we get started, man, big up to all the pseudo killers, man. I see the Titan debate lead is in the building, man. Free your mind, man. And of course, Fontaine, man. Top notch, man, is here. Big up to the pseudo killers, man. We double streaming, man. It's Friday night, man, with the community skeptics, man. And we doing our thing, man. First of all, on the 25th, man, got that debate between Pseudo and Inky. He's going to try to do the same thing Pseudo's always attempt to overthrow the established wisdom and knowledge for no matter how long it has been established. He's going against 200 years foundation of evolutionary biology with these two questions. Was pangenesis the scientific portion of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution? Only a pseudo would take that question. The second question, did Darwin produce a scientific theory of evolution? Only a pseudo would play that game. He gonna come in with the flip, 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 razzle, dazzle, bebazzle. Man, get your tickets, man. It's a pay-per-view event, man. And y'all know what it is, man. Man, now we got a superstar in the building, man. Y'all know him by Chuck Morgan. A lot of times, man, when I was studying, man, I was listening to a lot of his brother's work, a lot of his Bible conversation, yo, that helped me get through the biblical text, helped me put together all the ancient stories, the Sumerian doctrine, Sumer, Babylonian. He made me realize that scriptures are scriptures. Simple as that. Not just stuck in the Bible. Brother, help me with that. So whenever y'all hear me talking that Bible thing and going through the text, man, that was based off of Chuck Morgan work. That was based off listening to Chuck Morgan's tapes. Serious guy, real serious study, man. Now he done got himself into something. He going back and forth with the great Asar. How? One thing I know about Asar, yo, he stay ready. But what I really know about Chuck, he don't open his damn mouth till he got you. That's plain and simple. He don't open his mouth till he point blank got you. So, man, let me bring Chuck up, man. Chuck.
What?
Streaming out of Hawaii. It's sunny. The water looking clear. What's going on, Chuck? What it do?
I'm holding on, man. Making it happen.
Making it happen, man. Okay.
Fingers on the one. Hey, man, you bringing up the old stuff from back in, what, the 90s?
Man, yeah, but that,
man, those are the good old days.
bro, we need to get, man, I had a couple of them tapes, man. I done moved a couple times since then, Chuck. I mean, Chuck, I wish the listening audience could actually get a hold of it, right? Because it was good literature review. But going through the different, you was on that show called Scriptures Unlimited with Mo Better in them, bro.
Right.
Had Mo Better on there, had a preacher on there. It was wild how you got them, bro.
6 hours, 7 hours, debating all night, Wednesdays and Saturdays, like every week, arguing nonstop.
You wasn't supposed to be on there but one time. You was a caller, right? You was just a caller.
Yeah, I was just a caller, and then he put me on the panel, and we were just battling nonstop. Yeah, those were the debate days.
Yeah, with the real, you had to bring it was crazy, but all of that, bro, kind of got us ready for these moments when we deal with the people suffering from identity crisis, like the Black Hebrew Israelites. We know what that is, suffering from identity crisis. The Black Indians suffering from identity crisis, right? The Black Egypt, they suffering from identity crisis. People just playing with the Black Sumerian thing. It's identity crisis with African Americans. I understand it. Black Americans, I get it. But we understand the teachers and what they talk about, the preachers that are now trying to push this new brand of Christianity, the Jesus is Black thing, right? All that is in the game, bro. So I feel like this is an important moment in history because they piggyback off of stuff like this, right? They take this Black Sumerians, and before you know it, the whole area is Black. Whole Middle East area is Black. Whole Northeast, you know what I mean? They actually recolonize us with that wild stuff. So my first question for you is, Chuck, how the hell we get here, man?
Well,
bro.
Well, look, man, you know how I roll. All right, I'm DC all day, every day. But my thing was, my background, how I started out, and shout out to everybody that's tuning in. My thing was, I just was in my lane. And my lane was studying the ancient world and things like that. Now, here's the thing. When I see people who come with various talking points and books and these various claims, I give them their space.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to get up in that kind of stuff. Because I mean, look, man, I'll be 61 in December, right? So I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that. So what happened was, I think how it started was, because we've been on the show and all this other stuff before. So
correct.
I was doing. Well, I'm going to bring it up in the post. And matter of fact, it started with a show that I did with Garfield called "Were the Sumerians Black?"
Heard that was
tight. And dude, very cordially, he
who is dude? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry,
what are you talking about?
He cordially let me know that he was going to do a linguistic critique of it, and I saw it. I'm not going to even deal with it. I mean, go ahead and let him get his little thing, and he'd be all right, whatever. As I watched the video, I see there's a lot of stuff and errors that he made. Now, this is prior to my induction into Sumerian grammar school.
Okay.
And so I let it pass, no big thing. But then on Facebook in different groups, I would post, as I'm learning more and more, I'm posting various things about ancient Sumer and specific characters. And dude would come back, throw little jabs, a little arrogant type of thing, And I'm like, okay, I see.
Sword fight.
I pull back. I pull back. You know, don't. I'm not going to engage into a conflict because, as I was saying, men do have a mutual friend.
Who is that friend? Don't leave no names out.
I mean, you know, it's brother with Yaro. You know,
up.
and I didn't want to bring no kind of thing up between, you know, because of what his man is doing, you know, and put him in the middle of that. Because when I go at it hardcore, you know.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
So, you know, I'm
scholarly though. We talking about scholarly though. We talking about you learn a whole damn thing.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes people start saying little things and then they become a little bit personal. And you know, when see, I don't like to debate or go at people that I admire or respect. So when you get into that realm of being disrespectful to the brother, then I got to give it to you accordingly. You know, so at this point, yeah, you might see me throwing up different posts in Facebook and videos where I'm going at him and I'm kind of, you know, belittling him. And it's like I'm taking parts. No, all I'm doing is returning because now I didn't have time to be dealing with that kind of stuff. Right. So now I got a little bit of time, like today and there, you know, whenever I can squeeze a little bit of time in because I work so much.
Right.
You know, I just need to bring some clarity and context to some of the things that he said and what his writing says, and then what he said about me, which I take it personal. Because if you're not going to be complimentary to, you know, the research that I've done in regards to a particular area, and then you're saying this is wrong because I came at your man, Hermo Hermstein, you know, that pseudo crew, then, you know, I know there must be something a little bit more behind what's going on here.
Now let's talk about Herm. What did he wrote? What books did he write? Let's talk about
wrote from what I've seen, two books, like that, right? Two books.
Going for $2, right? When they going for $2?
I guess they go for $2. Somebody buying it. It's like Black Sumer. It's like Black Sumer. Now here's the thing. As I'm going to lay out in the presentation, you know, my presentations and posts had nothing to do with Asar. Nothing. But then he's going to come at me and throw up little stuff. And then here's the thing, and this is where I see a lot of these game players do, is they'll put up stuff and then they don't offer you the sources. Where are you getting this from? What gave you this information, or gave you? How did you reach this conclusion based on this evidence? What evidence are you presenting to direct you to that conclusion? And then I don't see this kind of display in any of the publications, nor in any of the video presentations, and definitely not any critique of what I've done.
So say that again. Say it again. You're saying you're looking for sources where he's getting the material from.
Yeah, I was searching for sources.
Right.
And then I looked at some of the old chats that we had in the background.
Okay.
And I remember there was one source. And then I look at the wording, how he's. Then I said, oh, I know where he's getting it from. Then I go to that source and I see word for word for word. That's where he got it from. But he won't tell you about it. Because when you if you mention where that particular source comes, in this case, we're going to see it tonight, the Electronic Pennsylvania Sumerian Dictionary, which is the premier Sumerian or Middle Eastern Mesopotamian literature dictionary that all scholars rely on and or use. Because it is in the highest echelons when it comes to that type of research in trying to find words, origins, attestations, etc. All right. So in what we're going to go and I'm dealing with a specific word because I'm just going over what actually led me to check his work when it came to comparative linguistics and the cognates that he's claiming that are linked with African languages.
So hold on. Stop right there. First of all, man, got some powerful guests in the building, man. You know, I love the bar, man. The barbarians, man. I see you in there, honey. I see you in there, Tiff. That's them barbarians. Barbarians up around this motherfucker, yo. I like the barbarians, man. I like being there. I like being part of that, man, because there's a lot of sisters in there, man. And they run that thing, right? And I always like to see sisters that's fighting for literacy, whether they be in academics, whether they be in science show. That's the shit I appreciate about that, man. That's a woman-heavy group right there. A lot of people don't know about them, right? At least up here in this lane. We up here on Mount Olympus. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That Chuck, Mount Olympus with the clouds and shit. So I always want to shout them out, man. I appreciate, I can just be a regular dude over there, man, and enjoying that. And so we at the point where you're talking about the scholarship, the sources, and I would like to say this first before you get there. Do you know how long you've been waiting to check that, yo? You actually went and got yourself educated. And I want everybody to know that. It's been about 2-3 years, Chuck, that when you started your trek on getting into this Assyrian information, Sumer, reading that cuneiform, bro. I remember when you was nowhere with it. And that's a testament to what the hell we supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And I never hear you say you're expert. You always talk about your teachers. You talk about the whole smear, right? I never seen you play expert, but I seen how you educate yourself on that, yo, before you even opened your mouth about the damn thing. I just want to let everybody know that. And so that's gritty right there. But Asar gritty too, Wujai gritty too, and the rest of them, they gritty too. So, man, this is a good one there, Chuck. So get back to your point, Chuck. Get back to what you were saying. You started checking, you started looking, and what did you find, though, Chuck?
Well, what I was finding was that the words that he's claiming as having cognates with Chiluba and all these other African languages, we're going to go through it. I don't find those to be Sumerian words, and I'm putting together a file. Then I'm seeing a pattern. Then I'm seeing a pattern of
pseudo file. A pseudo file.
Go on. And that's when I started saying, wait a minute. And then I'm looking at his commentaries to me, and then I'm checking his word. I mean, going down the line for line. And of course, I'm consulting with the experts.
Right.
I have a good rapport with them. Being around, my instructors as well. And they're giving me additional information that I didn't have access to. So now I'm on this level where, okay, now I see the pattern. So all we got to do is just go through it and just, inform the public that what you're seeing is not what you're seeing. All that is not gold.
What you seeing is a mirage.
It's a mirage.
Yeah, it's a mirage.
All that glitters is not gold. And I don't like that, because that tells me that if I see you doing this kind of stuff, then I know you're on that Umar Johnson type of vibe. I'm getting those kind of vibes from when I see this dude.
You don't put him with Umar? I ain't gonna put him with Umar.
I'm gonna put him in there like that, because when I see the dude, when the dude is being fake and phony and it's intentional, then I know dude's a greasy grifter. That's how I see it. So you want to get personal with me, going at my post that ain't even dealing with you, to try to insert your name into the link, then all right, I'm gonna help you be famous, and I'm gonna show you what I know, and all you got to do is present the evidence to refute it. And I've seen his little, because we was going back and forth with videos, and the videos that I'm seeing is like, dude, you're not even addressing what I'm pointing out. And then when I go and then I look at what you're presenting, all you're doing is confirming what I presented or using my information.
Hold it right there, Chuck. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. Man, we got Dr. Oya Amayat coming through real fast. Man, big up to Oya Amayat and that STEM education. Man, what's up, Doc?
Hey, what's going on, brother Ankh? How you doing?
We good. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do it.
Hey, that's what's up. Peace to everybody under the sound of my voice. Salute to the pseudo killers on deck and the pseudo killers who are in the chat. Hey, look, I was just reaching out to you, brother Ankh, just to congratulate you, because your abstract was accepted by the American Society for Engineering Education And the title, I remember the title of your paper was something along the lines of infusing African and diasporic African contributions into HBCU engineering curriculum, because you've been lecturing at Morgan State for a few years now. You're actually getting ready to do a lecture at Southern University once we lock in a date and time with Dr. James Holly out there. Shout out to Dr. James Holly down at Southern University at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But your abstract has been accepted. So look, I was just calling you just to congratulate you, to keep it a buck with you. I didn't know you were live.
Oh, man.
I was calling just to congratulate you.
Yeah, thank you, Doc.
Abstract being accepted. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Doc. You know what? Big up to the Syria Sisterhood, and big up to your organization for even allowing me to sniff around that type of thing. And you know, I don't get nothing done without you on that. And you the sole supporter, the pusher of real information. Never been pseudo, and you keep it real accurate, and you know how to drag my ass along. So I appreciate you for that, because you dragging me. I ain't leading the way.
We appreciate you, and look, we looking forward to your lecture next Thursday at 1 p.m.
I'm be that ready.
The students are looking forward. Yeah, the students are looking forward to that at Morgan. Then you got the Southern University students, you know, looking forward to you lecturing to them. And so we appreciate the work that you're doing, because you know, you, like I said, you were the one that told me from jump to utilize my degree. You kept telling me, you said, integrate the African worldview in whatever you do. You know, your teaching, the way you view things, your curriculum. And we doing it, Brother Ankh. So big up to you, big up to the pseudo killers. When you get off live, make sure you holler back, okay?
I got you. Appreciate you, sis, man. That's Dr. Oyama, yo, top-notch promoter of STEM, yo, and she be in that real thing for real. Appreciate you, Doc.
Congratulations.
All right, peace.
Congratulations, brother.
Oh, thank you, man. We're gonna keep doing it right though, Chuck. We're not gonna cut no corners. That's not what we're doing. And we're gonna do it the right way, bro. It's a way to do it the right way.
Right.
Feel me? Back to you, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that, man. And appreciate the people that's been supporting the platform and like and subscribe to Dr. Oyamaya's channel, man. And Chuck, you don't even got no channel, do you, Chuck?
Well, yeah, I got.
What you got to do?
I got the Nawabian thing, and then I got the channel that come off YouTube now.
All right, put it.
Two channels.
All right, put it. Yeah, you drop that in the private chat, man, so I can get it to the people, man. So they can get over into their real homework you got, man.
I don't got to do is just bring my name up. It'll pop right up in.
All right, we'll put the Chuck Morgan.
But yeah, you know, let me go to my YouTube channel. I got two of them. One that deals with the Nawabian, and then the other one I kind of deal more with the academic stuff, with like my interviews with my teachers, Joshua Bowen and Megan Lewis, and some of the classes that I had, Sumerian classes with the round table with a young gentleman out of Italy, who's another one of my instructors, middle intermediate level, Gabriel Barra. And you can check it out over there. You know, some other little tidbits, stuff that I have put over there. Because I don't really spend a lot of time on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. You know?
You don't be on there. You be in there studying. Let me say something. Hits and lows, 15 seconds. You not banned, man. Knock it off, man. We see you, bro. What you talking about, man? All right, go ahead, Chuck. So I stopped you. Let's pick back up right there.
No, I mean, it's like I said, everything is going to be laid out in the presentation. It's short. To the point, I don't want to do it with a whole bunch of like all them 8-hour shows. And, you know the history of this stuff, man. I mean, I can talk and talk, but I realize that sometimes you go on and on like that, you kind of lose the audience when you got like 6-hour shows. But if you want to watch it like that, you can always go to my channel, my other channel, one dealing with Dr. York and the Wabians and that.
All right, so hey, big up to TJ, man. Where the hell you been at, man? I'm gonna need you, man. We got this project coming out. I ain't gonna be ready to announce it yet, and I'm gonna need some serious scholars.
I heard that.
Damn doctor's degrees, and then the ones that respect the scholarship. Like Chuck, like I said, you gonna have to. You know what I'm saying, Chuck? I'm gonna need you, bro. You know what I mean? I know who the serious dudes is. Asar. You can't bring out no pseudo shit. I ain't letting no pseudo. Anyway, go ahead, Chuck. So you ready to get started? Or I kind of cut you short a little bit. I feel like
no, you're good. I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point, where I'm coming from. My thing is, I stay in my lane. Now, people are entering into my realm, and I have to push them out. I got to kill them out.
Yeah, you know that there's a lot of that going on these days, Chuck.
I don't know. I mean, I've dealt with who's the guy? This is brother Nation of Islam, brother. I mean, he and I had a little back and forth. What's his name? Wesley Muhammad. He got some book out called.
He don't want to smoke.
No, he don't. There was some book he had on the Anunnaki. I had to break that down.
Oh wow! We know what? That's gonna be your next one. You do. Calling out Dr. Wesley.
Here's my thing, and you know me, because if I'm going to make that declaration, I stand, hardcore on it. So and you come across those folks that are pushing that black Summa stuff, give the brother a call, because I'm taking his. I mean, it's so simple.
You the loaded gun. You the loaded gun, bro.
Listen, nobody, at least on the topic of the blackheads and that whole thing with the Sumerian, in my opinion, and according to a couple of people I know who are in that industry of Assyriology, nobody has done more study into that word and that history than me. And I take credit for that, and I appreciate it, and I'm gonna live up to it. So anybody coming with it, talking about the blackheads, I'm coming for yours.
Coming for your blackhead. Let me stop.
Right on.
Oh man!
All right, man. Let's get started.
Let's get this thing cranked up, man. Hey, you listen to Chuck Morgan, man. He's super dynamic, man. And man, I'm kind of set back, man. The doc made that announcement, man. Damn, came a long way.
That's a good thing, man. Hey, go on your way.
Ah, man, I'm on my way because I got good friends, man. That's the truth, man. Like all the bros, man, all the sisters, man. And the sisterhood been glaring, man. Like with the pseudo killers, with Miss Tiff and Juju and all the sisters on that Black Panther, all them, man. Oh my goodness, man. See, you also take a page out of that book right there, man. That, if you do it right, the sisterhood gonna show up. Right, they're gonna make sure you're gonna be good. You just gotta respect them, respect what they're doing, and don't leave them out. So we done had a real powerful group of sisters, man, and and they just came through at the end though, Chuck. Cool. Ain't no lying, bro. They kept it real organized, man. I see you blessed. I see you said the pseudo kill official. So Chuck, you too, bro. You definitely part of my development. As an African American, going through these streets of pseudoisms, bro, like being able to just hear somebody talk about the biblical text and making a profound statement. When the Christians was coming at you, they were saying the show is called Scriptures Unlimited, and you say, I thought the show was called Scriptures Unlimited. They was like, huh? You say, everybody got scriptures. And at that point, they had to just say, you got us. And so, man, that was, hey, bro.
I mean, I got to go and look around because I know you're the one that had a couple of my those CDs. It was cassette tapes, and then he put it on CDs and started selling them, And I look, I can care less about any of the acknowledgement for it. I just enjoyed doing the shows. At that time, it was me and my girl. We just ended up staying up there all night long. We just living, we was up in the Petworth area, DC, doing our thing, and call up, and next thing you know, it just started kicking off. Then, matter of fact, from there it led to us having our own show that it was on the DC station with WOL 1450, and then Cappy Hughes had syndicated everything and started going nationwide. It was Joe Madison, the original Black Eagle, my man, the late great Joe Madison, who was my teacher and taught me how to run the studio and get my program operating, properly. And I'll always acknowledge him and thank him for that, because that led me into many different other areas of expertise. Thanks to him.
The co-opted you.
I'll agree that. But,
They co-opted.
That was a
Like
part
it was
of
them that was
part
doing it.
of the
That's
growth.
crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
that was a growth process. You know, we all had
Oh
to go
my
through.
God, bro. That's
Yeah, man.
a lot of moving parts, man. And
Yeah.
you know what, man? One day we may have to talk about them moving parts.
Yeah, look, I got shows that talks about the moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. You know, he just would take people's shit and say, "Yeah, he did it. He didn't." That
Yeah,
was Chuck was doing that. Ain't had nothing to do with the New Watchman shit. And he
Yeah.
just bring it all in, make it seem like he was doing all that. You ain't
Well,
never asked
at
me.
least my contribution was at a particular period in the when the cult started moving in different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing, and it was so he loved it so much that they had this thing called the Triad of Atum Ray
Yeah, I remember that.
down in Georgia. So
Remember that.
it was going to be 3 of us that were going to be the northern fraction of that group.
Mhm.
And, you know, it was kicking off, but you know that's a whole nother story.
Woo! Don't get started. All right, go ahead, Chuck. We waiting for that presentation to get going, man.
All right, so you know, I'm gonna go ahead and try to share my screen. But let me, because I know you said don't get it personal, so let me take that.
No,
out.
that's up to you. We good. Too late.
No. I'm gonna try to keep it professional tonight.
Oh yeah, you get keep it professional, but I mean, you know, don't hold your word. You know, when Asar come in, go hold his words.
But let me get down to the fact. So what you see here,
I missed that's not the right slide. I'm not letting you do it.
Huh?
I seen the real slide. I want to see the.
What this?
Yeah.
Oh, the pseudo linguistic. Yeah, man.
That's the thing. Put them on this thing. Let me make sure. It was that Asar. Well,
yeah,
He'll get a kick out of that. Pseudo linguistic. Asar, you gotta knock it off, yo. You gotta stop that, yo. As much as I like some of your work, yo, that you gotta stop. All right, man. Let's go.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a good speaker.
Yep.
That baritone, he has that Barry White thing going. You know.
Yeah.
It puts the audience into this like trance, and you hear it and you actually think that he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
This is a great song. Was you funny, yo? All right, let's go kick it. Let's go.
But anyway,
Chuck Morgan.
what we have here is Asar Imhotep, the deceptive Sumerian cognates. So when we were starting off, we were just going through how this thing kicked off, and as you can see, this is where it started for me when on Facebook when it really started getting dirty. So back in 2021, I posted several Facebook threads on the Sumerian language, and one of those apparently irritated the fake linguist Asar Imhotep, so much so that he felt the need to attack it, and it had nothing to do with him. I didn't even mention this guy by name. Wasn't even talking about him. Had no even interest in even bringing him up. I did his man, but it wasn't anything that was derogatory or attacking that individual at all. And so the post was called The Scribe, and it was dealing with scribal schools called in Iduba, and an Akkadian, particularly an Akkadian scribe named Dudu. Now, in his rant, Asar issued a series of false and misleading statements with regard to the Sumerian language. And my response challenged his critique by demonstrating both his lack of familiarity with the Sumerian grammar and the law and the flaws in his broader arguments that the Sumerian language possesses cognates with various African languages. So in the following PowerPoint presentation, what I intend to do is prosecute those claims through evidence and present an academic indictment of his methodology. Now, specifically, this presentation will illustrate clear examples of his errors and fundamental misunderstanding of the Sumerian language. Most notably, it'll debunk his assertion that this particular word that we're going to go through, and I think it's key because you're going to see this as being part of that pattern. And that word is Urim. And is a word that he claims is Sumerian. Now, the dictionary that he cites well, he never cited because he doesn't bring it up, but I cite is called the Electronic Pennsylvania Sumerian Dictionary, or the EPSD. Now it's called too because they've updated and added thousands of additional words. And that dictionary makes it abundantly clear that Urim is not part of the Sumerian vocabulary. Instead, it's an Akkadian entry from a bilingual lexical list from the Neo-Assyrian period, but it's written with what are called Sumerograms. Right? So I think that part is pretty much established. So let's go right here. And this is the post. Well, this is part of the post where he starts. Well, you can read it in his response to it. And I had sent. He's responded to me because I was just pointing out. Did he ignore the various terms? Because he uses the word Urim, but then we have major words that has a far larger set of lexemes that give you clearer pictures, where you'll find this in multiple thousands of inscriptions. So when I asked him, do you ignore the various other terms? He points out that no, I do not. And all are accounted for in the research. Again, don't let Facebook posts and a few YouTube videos get you comfortable in assuming that I have researched, what comparisons I have done, and my conclusions. I pick what I show on YouTube relative to the conversation we're having. But trust when I say these are hundreds of comparisons with all sound laws and correspondences fully documented. And secondly, this is where you want to get down to the point. This is what we're going to go into this evening. Is that secondly, Urim is not Akkadian, and the EPSD cites the Akkadian equivalent, Zikaru, male, virile. Now, this was the part where he starts veering and talking about virile. That was from another Sumerian dictionary that I had used when I was critiquing the point that he was making. But I just wanted to lay this key point here off where he says, Urim is not Akkadian. Urim is not Akkadian, and the EPSD cites the Akkadian equivalent, Zikaru. We're going to go through that. So I just want you to know he claims that Urim is a Sumerian word. So let's walk through the evidence. All right. Now, this is the site that he got that from. So in the EPSD, Urim, as you can see here, male occurs only once in a bilingual text. A bilingual text, we're going to go through that so there will be no misunderstanding on how that works. And it's found in a text called CT 19K26. It's a Neo-Assyrian text found in Nineveh. And the tablet explicitly glosses the word as Akkadian, Tikaru. And that makes Urim an Akkadian entry in that bilingual list, not as a Sumerian word. Now, if you look over here, now again, you got to understand, this is where he got it from, but he doesn't show it. Urim, male. Now, one time, Neo-Assyrian is written Utu, Rum, and Sangshid, or Urim 3 is what they had. Sangshid is that word, the name of the actual cuneiform sign. We're going to walk through this very text, so you'll see it, and you'll see that someone has been lying. So it's not a single Neo-Assyrian first millennium occurrence that it clearly indicates that you can see here. The Electronic Pennsylvania Dictionary that he was using demonstrates how Urim is from the Neo-Assyrian period. And it's a spelling where they combine the logogram with the phonetic material pointing to the Akkadian Zikaru. It's all here. I mean, it's as plain as day. This right here should raise some questions. And why wouldn't it show this? because it clearly shows you and tells you exactly where it's from, the attestations one time, as opposed to what we had previously saw, where I pointed out these two other terms. So here we have the actual Sumerian words for man or male, and these are the words that actually matter. And as you can see, we have Lu, which is male person, and it's attested 18,895 times from the early dynastic 1, 2 AB periods, all the way up to the Neo-Babylonian period. And then we have this word for male, you have Nita. And this is attested 6,000 times from the early dynastic period 1, 2, A, and B, all the way down to the old Babylonian period and even later after that. And these are third millennium Sumerian, early dynastic, or 3, on and on. And that combined total is 25,065 times, whereas Urim is a first millennium Neo-Assyrian source attested once. That's important. All right. So in this here, this is from the COD, the Chicago Assyrian Dictionary. And it took them about 70 years to finally compile this dictionary. And you can find it online. You can download. You can either pay for the publication itself, or you can just go to the website and look at it yourself, because they do make it available. And these from the absolute top Assyriologists and Sumerologists in that world that contributed to its foundation. And in here we have how they define, well, this is from page 110, where it defines Zakaro as Akkadian, and it's the same word for male from the old Akkadian period onward. And it's verified for anybody that, yeah, Zakaro is a standard Akkadian lexicon. Now, it's attested from the old Akkadian and to that old Babylonian period. And what happens is it verifies that it's not a Sumerian word. It's a Semitic Akkadian lexicon with a long tradition and usage in Mesopotamian texts. And here's the thing: if Urim is only attested in the Neo-Assyrian scribal school list, then it's not an actual Sumerian word. It's just like it's a classroom Akkadian use. The lexical list, what these scribal students did, these were lexical lists that were used as exercises and not native vocabulary in Sumerian language. By that time, the Sumerian language had already been long dead. So what he is either intentionally or just mistakenly take scribal practice for actual Sumerian speech. And that's where you run into these kinds of problems. So after it gives, like even with this, after it gives you the Sumerian gloss, Urim and Sangshig, the entry list, where and how that form appears is only in those late bilingual lexical sources. This is long after Sumerian, long after. And it cites texts like Antigal, Antigal E, 879, the MSL, and on and on and on. And these other lexical combinations. That points to the fact that these are not living Sumerian documents. These are all Neo-Assyrian scholarly lists, roughly around the 8th century to the 7th century BCE. And they're used for teaching Akkadian vocabulary by pairing that Akkadian vocabulary with Sumerian equivalents. Okay, so they were part of the lexical school tradition where scribes copied and standardized ancient Sumerian words purely for study. And so with the Kai entry Z on page 110, it shows you where the gloss appears in late dictionary lists as not being a genuine Sumerian inscription. So that is another key point that, unfortunately, he didn't point that out to his audience. So getting back to the textual evidence, if we look at it close, we'll see that Urim is phonetically spelling Utu Urim, and is really Urim 3, because when you see these numbers, there are different words with different meanings, and what Syriologists do is they'll attach these numbers, so when the reader, the student reads it, they'll know, okay, this is talking about a specific word that you may want to pull up in your bilingual dictionary. So in practice, scribes could write it either phonetically, syllabically, or the syllabic value, the logographic compound sign. That was how they were able to put it together as students in these schools. So Sangshid, which is a compound sign, right, with the element shid inserted, and when together they make up Urim. And the only time Urim occurs is in the bilingual text. The ancient scribes whoever put it together, it literally tells us, it tells us that the sign sequence is the Akkadian Zikaru. It never appears in normal Sumerian inscriptions. That's why when I question him, it show where this is found among other terms words that he's used. He can't pull them up because they're not there. Because a lot of the vocabularies that he's using, these glossaries, are not even Sumerian words, and the ones that are, we will find there's problems with how they're put together in the context to force fit them into believing or making an assumption that these are cognates with some African language. So when the Neo-Assyrian scribes write Urim, they're not writing an actual Sumerian word. They're using old Sumerian signs as a form of writing the Akkadian word Zakaru. All right, next slide, number 9. So what the scribes actually did was, in Sumerian inscriptions, you'd see native words like Lu, or Lutu, Lugal, that's Lu, a great person, but Lu is the word for male, and Nita for male or man, depending on the context. Now, without bilingual glosses, that's how they put that together. So in Neo-Assyrian lexical list, the scribe is using old Sumerian signs as a written shell, but the spoken value is Akkadian, which is why Urim doesn't appear in any of the Sumerian literature. If you can go to the electronic text corpus of Sumerian literature, you won't find it. So what the scribes did in the bilingual text was that they were telling the student or reader, this group of signs is to be read as the Akkadian Zikaru. So Asar Imhotep, his cognate claim, at least on this, is totally false. And there's no way you can appeal that one. It's simply false. So how do bilingual lexical lists function? So bilingual lists are just, it's simple. You can see it here. You have on the left side, the Sumerian entry. You have the sign, the gloss, and the logogram. On the right side, you have the Akkadian equivalent written syllabatically. So in the inscription CT 19K26, where Urim is being connected with Zakaru, it's found on the left column where you see, well, we're going to go through that in a second. To the right is the Akkadian syllables written out, Z-Karu, which is 3 syllables. And by the first millennium, you got to understand this, by the first millennium, Sumerian had no longer existed as a spoken language. You got to know that, because once you realize that or you understand that, then you see how, okay, they wasn't even basing it on that. So Urim, when you see it, the sign values are Sumerian, but the word is Akkadian. Okay. In the CT19 K26, in that bilingual list, the entry is laid out, and Urim is written with Sumerian style cuneiform characters, not the Sumerian word that they would have used, because we have Lu and we have Nita. So Zakaru, being the Akkadian gloss, which is a symbol of 3, you have, what's that? I'm just using this one particularly as to give you an idea of where and how this thing was put together. Let's see where I can go with this. Let's see. All right. So here, if you look at this basically explains it, and I think that for the people who may have who are interested, because this might be kind of complicated for some people, because it's a topic that I know a lot of people are not familiar with, and that's understandable. But
right about that.
for
That's
those
how
who
they scam us on that too, though, because we don't know. It's
that
the
is
easy
true.
pickings for us.
Right. But see, here's the thing. So when he put that one word up, Urim, and when you go to look at it, this was the text I was mentioning. You'll see it's clear. It's in the British Museum. The period is Neo-Assyrian, located in Nineveh, or modern-day Kuyunjuk. And what language is it in? Akkadian. And this is what he should have shown the people. And you can find this same thing. You go to the CDLI, which is the cuneiform digital library, where you can find any text, and you can go through those texts piece by piece. And if you're a student, because what we're encouraging, we got to go. Depending, they'll grab a tablet, and then they'll give us like a week to do the translation on it. And that's some of the exercises that we do in Sumerian classes. All right. So here, if you look at that same bilingual list, CT19K 00026, right here, look at it. So you have on the oblong side, line 8, it gives you specifically the reference for that entry. And then you'll find Urim, the word Urim here. And then you'll see the name of the sign. These are what they used to refer to as Sumero-Akkadian dictionary, because the Akkadian saved the Sumerian language for the most part. So when we do all this translating and trying to get words together, we're basing it on Akkadian eyes. You're looking at it through their lens. Not necessarily correct. Assyriologists will tell you that. Any beginner's course in Sumerian grammar will tell you that how these words are pronounced, we don't exactly know. We're basing it on what the Akkadians left in their bilingual dictionary. But if we go forward. So in here, you'll find Zakaru, and then the definition of it and the various uses of it for man, at least in this particular one where he got it. So I pointed out how scholars have taken the time to explain this, and as far as what lexical lists are. The lexical lists are not direct sources for the spoken Sumerian language, but represents the scholarly Sumerian of the old Babylonian schools, a written tradition already several centuries removed from natural usage. This is in the ancient Sumerian lexical list and their uses in Civilizations of the Ancient Near East, Volume 4, 1995, Assyriologist Miguel Sybil. Also, the Sumerian entries in bilingual lexical texts are often Semitic, reflecting the didactic needs of Akkadian-speaking students rather than authentic linguistic usage. Reading the Past, Cuneiform, 2000, page 73. And that's by Jeremy Black and Andrew George. All right. So this is taken. I took this particular one because I got a whole bunch of them I put together. This is taken from his one of the videos he did regarding my presentation.
You talking about Asar? Am I correct?
Yes, Asar Imhotep.
Okay,
Yes.
so he did. All right, so explain again. He's
So
doing.
this is I took this because this is where I started putting the pieces
Okay.
together, because he has a series of these where I'm looking at the Sumerian words and I'm finding multiple errors in them. So here is the word for person in Kikam, Middle Egyptian remit, man, Coptic, man or husband, Chiluba, Rumi, male, masculine. These are supposed to be cognates. This is his version of comparative linguistics. Chilume, sperm. And then he got Sumerian in his spelling, Urum, male. So a Assyriologist who, well, if you look at it closely, we'll see that this is an error. Simply, if for no other reason, you can clearly see that Sumerian Urim shouldn't even be there. And that's important because that's how we see the mistakes in his methodology, because he's using a language that was dead. First of all, these here you like Middle Egyptian, that goes back to the 11th dynasty. So all these other terms, Chiluba, all of this came after Sumerian had long been gone. And the point that I was making, even with this, and I had made that point clear multiple times. This word Urim, male, is Neo-Assyrian, not Sumerian. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that's exactly,
Run it again. Run it again.
Well, it's real simple. Here
All
you
right.
got all of these. These are supposed to be words that are related. They come from the same language family, according to him.
It's Egyptian, Remit.
Middle Egyptian, Coptic, Chiluba, an African language.
The who?
Chiluba.
Ain't no damn language called. All right, keep going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then down on the list, I don't know why he has this as it would imply that it's the last in that series, but they have Urim as being male. But where he derives it from, because remember, we go back, what did he say? Secondly, Urim is not Akkadian, and the EPSD cites the Akkadian equivalent, male. Well, if that's the case, if it says that, then why didn't you show this, where you got it from? Neo-Assyrian, male. One time.
Oh, man.
But how many? Where is it? Let me find it. Hold up, I got.
So, what do you think? What do you attest that to? Just looking at it, lookership? Is that lookership?
No, I think that it's force. I think that it's force fitting.
Oh, explain it.
I'll give you an example, because it's like this. It's like, okay, we can just go here. We can go here. No, we can go here. So if you wanna have a set of cognates, and you wanna, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to a dictionary, and then you're going to cherry pick a term that closest relates to what you're trying to put together. Okay. So when you see any little highlights, that's how. And this is another interesting point that I saw when it first. Like, wait a minute, he's got Urim. If Urim was a Sumerian word, number one, it will require Sumerian to have a phonemic R sound, a rotate, and it doesn't. And that's important. So when you see R here, the Sumerian doesn't have that. That's a scholarly convention for students in transliteration. And this is based on skepticism at that. So when you see this and he uses this, I know you don't know what he's talking about. I know that as a student. So to use that means that he's force fitting a cherry picked term. So he has to go outside of Sumerian and go into Neo-Assyrian and then bring it back and say that it's Sumerian to go in line with this, but then not show you this, where you got it from, which to me is deception.
Yeah. So hold on. So he does all this to prove that the Sumerians are African. That's really the primary reasoning for trying to match up the languages like that. What you said?
Well,
'Cause I've heard him say it.
I've heard him in one instance say that I don't argue that the Sumerians were black, because Garfield was trying to set us up with you and I need to debate, and then he said I don't argue that. I argue that Sumerian is an African language.
Right. Okay. All right.
So because there's no evidence to support the ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia as being black African people. No, there's no evidence of that. So you may want to pull back off of that. So in order to hold on to that concept in part, you got to say, well, at least the language is. And that, again, that's part of that deception.
Right. Or the Bantu are trying to say it's part of the Bantu language family, something wild like that.
Yeah. Because when you start pulling in Chiluba and Kikhan, which is Egyptian, is his little shorthand for saying Middle Egyptian, and he's trying to tie the ancient Egyptians in with being Sumerian.
Man.
So that chart that we just saw, Asar Imhotep's chart and its error. So what I have pointed out was that one, it's misidentification of Sumerian. The entry Urim, male, is not a Sumerian word. I've demonstrated that in that CT19K26 and using the EPSD2, and it's from a Neo-Assyrian bilingual list entry glossed with Akkadian Zakaru. The chronological mismatch. He does a lot of this. Sumerian died out as a spoken language by 2000 BCE. The EPSD2, which he used, tells you it's from Neo-Assyrian 911 through 612 BCE. That's more than 1,000 years after Sumerian ceased to be a spoken language. Number three, he ignores the actual Sumerian words. What are we showing? What do we point out? Sumerian had thousands of well-attested entries for male and man. Urim was not one of them. Lu, man, human, and Nita, male. So Asar skips these attested words, thousands of them, in favor of a cherry-picked late Akkadian gloss written with Sumerograms. Here, number four, methodological error. This is a textbook case of confusing logograms with language. Sumerian signs and unequaling to Akkadian words. By the first millennium BCE, scribes were using Sumerogram to write Akkadian words in lexical lists. This is well known, and as I'm showing you here, and I got a whole list of these scholarly sources, a Sumerogram is the use of a Sumerian cuneiform character in the writing of another language, such as Akkadian. They function as ideograms or logograms to be substituted in pronunciation by the intended Akkadian word. Source, Jeremy Black, Andrew George, Postgate, and even Oppenheimer. You can pull this up in the Assyrian Dictionary Project. And another one is one of my favorite Assyriologists, Miguel Civil. When Sumerian became a dead language at the very end of the 3rd millennium BCE, Akkadian scribes continued to copy and expand lexical lists. These lists became bilingual Sumerian Akkadian, where Sumerian forms are given only as written entries, with Akkadian as the actual language gloss. Now you can pull that up in the Center for the Study of Manuscript Cultures out of Hamburg, Germany. So in summary, this will be the end of it. In summary, why Asar's claim failed. The lexical evidence, the primary source, C19, it explicitly glosses Urim, Fangshid with the Akkadian Zikaru and this is the standard scribal practice. A sumerogram in form, Akkadian in meaning. So you can take a cuneiform character, write out a word that didn't even exist in that time period, and use it as a student to say this is what it could have or would have sounded or looked like. And that's what they did. That's what the Udaba did as scribal, as Akkadian scribal students. Chronology: the tablet belonged to the first millennium BC. By then, Sumerian again had ceased to become a spoken language. And by this time, Sumerian signs survived only as scholarly and scribal tools. Phonology: Sumerian did not possess the rhotic R phoneme, while Akkadian did. The very presence of R in Urim confirms it as Akkadian rather than Sumerian. Authentic Sumerian terms: the Sumerians already had native words for man or male. Even when you see, like one of my handles, Lugal. Lugal, that's a word that mean, or Lutu is man or male, and Gal is to be great or big man. So when you put the two together, you got Lugal, big man. Usually it's associated with a king. Lugal Zagazi. Gudea, well, he was more an MC, but we could still put his in because I did see one text where he was Gudea did refer to himself as Lugal, or Ornamu was Lugal. So Asar, he ignores these words in favor of misidentifying a later Akkadian gloss as if it were originally Sumerian. The methodological error: confusing the use of sumerograms with Sumerian language is a basic mistake for people unfamiliar with Sumerian grammar. Writing Urim with sumerograms would not make the word Sumerian. So, in conclusion, the word for person here is a big fat fail. And all you have to do is just admit it, because again, and I ain't gonna not let up on this, because this is in a number of his slides that I find because the Neo-Assyrian period, Akkadian was a learned language and not based on an ethnic identity. The students were Assyrians or Babylonians, and they're being trained in the Akkadian language tradition, which was preserved through Sumerian and Akkadian bilingual lists. Therefore, it's not proof of a Sumero-African connection. Presenting it to the public as being a Sumerian word demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of both the source and the methodology of historical linguistics. The distinction between script and language, chronology, phonology is elementary in Assyriology, and ignoring these principles leads not to discovery, but to distortion. And that would conclude my presentation on this topic.
Okay. All right, man, let's get it back in the
So that was all that I was pointing out with regards to this whole topic.
Yeah, that was a good one right there, man. Some
so now my thing is, if it's no big deal, probably not. But at least, okay, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Big deal.
Right.
Move on. Just say you were wrong.
Right. Correct.
I'm good. But then I got a whole list of other ones I got to pull up. Because if you were wrong about that one, oh, my bad. Then what about these other words here, like bow?
Right.
It's being stoned, and that's not even a Sumerian word itself.
So look, we're gonna drop the link, man. Hopefully we can get some supporters of Asar and non-supporters, man, to ask some questions, man. That'd be real good. We're at the portion of our question and answer for Brother Chuck, man. Look, man, make sure y'all get y'all tickets, man. All right, get your tickets. Y'all know what's going down on the 25th, man. All right, man. It's a pay-per-view event, man. Tickets $30, man. Was pangenesis the scientific portion of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution? Question 1. Question 2. Did Darwin produce the scientific theory of evolution? All right.
You got that pattern, huh?
Yeah. Right. Can't believe it. Only a pseudo would take that. But it is what it is. You know how we do it, man. We catch the pseudos red-handed at all times, man. Man, big up to everybody in the chat, man. Hit the link. Had some conversations in there, man. And yeah. Waiting on y'all. What we doing? What we doing? Know y'all got some questions. Asar and Kepi, look, man, hit the damn link. Shit. Do all that talking in the chat. It's a waste of talk. It's a waste of talk in that chat, man. See you, Hemi the Barbarian. All right, here we go. All right, man, let's go. Camera's on. Let's get it going. What's going on?
Oh, here I come. Let me see.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you
laying down after a hard day's work, brother. You know how.
Ooh, you don't come up here with the pseudo package. Now you're a super pseudo and love being that. But go ahead, ask your question, man. Let me sit back on this one.
Oh, crazy boy.
Shit. Go ahead,
man.
What's up, Asar? I see you all the time.
What's up, Femo? I see you taking it apart as we as usual. Looking through that book, like a lot of the word, because like he even goes into the Congolese words a little bit with Chilumba, but the matches weren't even matching the cognate. You know, it usually has to have the first three letters sounding the same. His cognates don't even have the same first three letters matching the sound the same.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. So when they called it a fringe work, not even, they said it was, what did he say? It was whimsical at best, or whatever that guy said. I just was kind of wondering how you saw, how did you even see him fitting those words to match each other when they didn't even have the first three consonant sounds matching each other?
Well, in my case, what I had did was, well, I shared it with some materiologists that gave me some locations to go and look further into it. And then I had to go and pick up a few books on the whole historical linguistic system. And then I see how what he's doing does not reflect what that science is when it comes down to languages and finding roots and language families and cognates, if you will. So by the time I see this whole Sumerian thing, it immediately put off alarm bells for me, and I had to look at the words, and I can see that the words that he's using, for the most part, are not even Sumerian. So I see that what he's using is what Campbell, what was his name? Campbell Dunn used to do. In his, he put out a book on Sumerian and Niger-Congo languages, and he did the exact same thing that Asar does. In fact, I may even show where he literally lists from Campbell Dunn's work and start adding his own little thing to it.
Let me ask you, did you find some of his work in Asar Imhotep's work?
I saw links to it. I mean, he'll reference him, of course.
Okay.
He'll cite. I'm not going to say that he plagiarized it. No, I would say that you will find the citations. He'll mention him, and then he'll move on and start his own little thing by adding to it.
I definitely want to give him respect for that thing, because that last book was a lot of everybody else's work. So that's good to hear. Let me ask you this outside of that. When you first see, because I just had a debate the other night when we were discussing, when you first see Yahweh and El, what text do you see them referenced in together? Like I see the Qur'an text uses L a lot. The Ugaritic text uses it as well. And then in Yah's case, and this what kills me, when I see the Yah name, I see it in the Edomite text, which a lot of Hebrew Israelites don't like to claim Edom. But it appears that Yah would be an Edomite god. Do you see him in any earlier text in a different region?
L?
L I see in like the Qumran text and in Canaanite text and Ugaritic text. But for Yah, do you find him in any earlier place than Edom? Like you find him in Seer text, you find him in, but I don't find him earlier.
Honestly, in my area of study, that really wasn't a topic that I really looked into. Because I've seen some people who have used, they'll mention El or Yah, or they'll say Yah and Way as being two separate words, and then they'll trace it back having something to do with good and bad, and you may find it in ancient Sumerian. I think they're just using Sumer as just a hook because it's an ancient people or an ancient language, and then they're trying to blend that in and somehow morph it into modern day Hebrew or any one of those languages that later developed from it, or not even from it, but that later developed, like Aramaic, So you go Akkadian, and then Neo-Assyrian, and then the one I just mentioned, what is it?
Sumerian, Mesopotamian,
and
Syrian,
or even Ugaric.
Ugaritic text.
But,
see, I don't see him in the Ugaritic text. And that's what kind of killed me. He doesn't show up in that Ugaritic text except for there's a hint to him coming about from the term Hawaii or HWY, Hawaii, however you would pronounce that in the language, which is one of L's epithets. Other than that, I don't really get to see him in that text. We only see him in like the northern text, like Seer, what else over there? Not Pelishep. What's the name of that place? Like the Seer, is it Sidon? Sidon? I can't remember the name of that location over there at the moment. But that's the only place that I see him. He's not in the Ugaritic text, which was surprising to me. He's in some Akkadian text, like when they first start putting it together. I know, huh?
Yep, you'll find it in Akkadian as well. Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, though, Chuck. King J in the building.
What's
going on, King J? What's going on with you, man?
What's going on?
Hey, man, you know how we do it, man. We dissecting it.
What's up?
Nobody can run around here unscathed, and we just trying to figure it out. And we're glad to have somebody that's really dealing with this. This has actually been an issue in the African American Black algae community for a while, with the black kids and the black people, blacks, and everything is black, right? And nobody else gets to live. You know what I'm saying? You got the Christians running crazy these days, right? Where they make the brutal mistake of claiming the church fathers, right? They very well may be North Africans, yo. Very well. No, not an issue. But they're not West and Central Africans. And so if they're not West and Central Africans, then what's the hell the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a real tricky game in these streets, bro. And I think, like Dr. Ben and them, they started that with Tertullian and all the church fathers and playing that. Okay, so now we got North Africans not actually writing the text, but actually promoting the doctrine or whatever they're doing, right? But we know the people in the story takes place in Judea, Palestine, all those areas, right? We can look at the biblical damn map. But these wild preachers, they stretch it a little bit farther. Okay, they want to talk about the Ethiopians, bet, but we not Ethiopians, right? Like we Western Central Africans. Okay, we not Egyptians. We Western Central Africans. Yes, they are Africans, but they not us. And so maybe it's time for everybody to start telling the truth. Hell no, we ain't got nothing to do with the damn Bible. Shouldn't that be okay? Shouldn't I, as a black man, have a choice? Shouldn't I? But I guess not. They taking out choices and they promoting racism, white supremacy, because they not allowing us to have our indigenous agency. They're not allowing us to go back to our ancestral shrines, right? See, everybody else can do their ancestral shrine if it's Christianity, Judaism, right? So we take all that, we black everything out to the point where we the ones enslaved our damn selves. That's how far I got out there. It's a lot of people, man, suffering from an identity crisis, bro. And the Sumerian, and we glad we got somebody that can at least get on that and get some experts around. I would like to ask you something though, Chuck. Chuck, what happened to that debate? I thought Asar was supposed to have a debate. What happened? How did that fall apart?
All right. To clear that up, what had happened was literally just minutes before that debate was to take place, the young person who was going to debate him appeared on the live with the host. And he was being attacked, ridiculed, because the audacity that this Italian, because the one girl asked him, "Are you a white boy?"
What?
They were throwing all that kind of stuff, and he had the audacity to say that, "How you going to go and debate Asar? You white, and you going to say that it's not? Why are we even having that kind of thing?"
Oh man.
He just had a series of attacks, and then I was able to read the text messages where certain individuals in that school of seriology who were actually watching, because we did put the link out there and promoted it in that area, and they suggested that he not even do it because this person, Gabriel Barra, is a linguist himself. He specializes in Sumerian, Elam, Akkadian, German, and Chinese. As a matter of fact, he teaches Chinese in China right now. But they suggested that because of his PhD candidacy, he doesn't need to be caught up in this kind of public ridicule.
Oh, wow.
And it was just real nasty the way that they were coming. Yeah. And so he told me, I'm not going to do it. As a result of that, and at the recommendation of those experts, the couple who had sent text messages that he showed me, and I know who these people were, and I said, don't even waste your time with this. It's not even worth it. Just continue on. Let them have it. You want to call it a loss? Let them call it a loss. And then Asar seized on that and did his little presentation and came off as if he was the victor. But that's what took place behind the scenes, just shortly, about 30 minutes before it was to go. And I have seen his work, and it is solid. I have it, and I use it if I ever need it. But he literally just took, because he was able to purchase the majority of Asar's books, and in that period of time was able to go through each one of them. And he did a hell of a presentation on just basic stuff that Asar would have no clue because he's not a Sumerian language student. You don't know it. It's just that simple. So he would be way,
stop playing with us, man.
way out of his lane. And some people would say that, well, he's not a historical comparative linguist. Okay. And that goes back to where that smoke screen came in when I started putting up a bunch of posts going at Asar and his teaching. And then he one of the comments he was saying that what they tried to do is they wanted to put up a straw man argument away from what I was telling Asar to do. If you so thorough and you claim that you spent 20 years of studying in the area of historical comparative linguistics, and you've come up with all of these groundbreaking theories on how the Sumerian language is related to these various specific African languages, and they're cognizant, they're over hundreds and hundreds of. Why have you not submitted your work to the various journals of linguistics to where it can be tested, falsified? So the smokescreen was, no, Chuck, you need to get an Assyriologist to look at my work and prove me wrong. And then some people who are clueless on the matter say, see, Chuck, you said all this stuff. Won't you get some of your friends to go and get them to come on and critique Asar's work? No, it don't work like that. Asar claims to be a linguist, a scholar. Well, submit your work to your peers.
You should have David Olmsted look at the work. And he right there on Academia EDU. We did some work together.
I've seen several. I've sent it to several people, and they've looked at it and said, "This is what is this?" I mean, in a couple of posts that a couple of presentations that I've shown my correspondence with Assyriologists or historical linguists that looked at it and said, "This smells like Campbell Dunn."
Oh,
you know, and I know that to be the case because Asar does promote Campbell Dunn's work.
And that's why I asked you if you've seen anything that was from his text in his book, because of what happened with the other.
As far as words
without citing, like it just like the whole paragraph. And
I've seen
mine. No,
I've seen that.
So I ain't gonna let you get Asar because you super pseudo. So I'm never gonna let you get Asar. No, sir.
Now, pseudo, we know, but we love him. We love him. There's a problem there, sister, but we love him.
I can't sit on this panel that you get Asar.
You got these little back and forth, antagonistic conversations, battles, and I'm like, hey, I'm cutting through all of that. I'm just doing my thing. I'm on this man's show who don't like that man, who's a rival with this man. I'm just like, thank you for allowing me to come on your platforms to share what I know.
Nah, but you always got a voice with me, yo. You just pulled out the big joker.
Like I said, you came at me. He wasn't even on my radar.
I read the Facebook post. I read it. I seen what I'm talking about a couple years ago when it was that outrageous.
Hold up, you came in and you said, what the hell? We said, what the historical linguistic mess is going on here? Somebody said that was like, God, what the fuck? Because we was going at it hard. Boy.
Yeah, y'all was going hard, man. It's a lot, man. Especially when you talking linguistics and you mixing geography with it, mixing it up out of place, and then at the end of the day, it's some kind of what we would say it's a conspiracy that nobody wants to tell you that the Egyptians is black and the Sumerians is black and the whole. You know what I'm saying? Like that get crazy for me. Right, especially when I go to museums and I see what they say. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I get it from all sides, Chuck. You know what I'm saying? Like man, I done put friendships on hold because they going against the damn museums. We walking in the damn museum, we see what this shit's saying. Why are you better than the museum? Why are you better than the curators? I don't understand it. And people tell me, well, can you think? Wait a minute, bro. Of course I can think. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Museums are there for a reason. Academic standards are there for a reason. Just like science literacy, it's all there for a reason. Asar get up here talking about some damn two evolutions and mixing it up and all that shit. And the public don't understand it. They get confused. Same with Asar, but I was the Bantu and the Buddha. Like, don't nobody understand that shit. So when you go to an expert, then you come back to the community with it, like you did. Everybody want to talk crazy. Like that debate should have went off, yo. That was his chance. That debate should have went off, yo. But you got wild people. You got black people being more racist than the white people. That I don't understand.
They trying to return the favor. But Chuck, I'm saying this.
I ain't gonna let you ignore me, Asar. I'm never gonna let you ignore me.
No. I'm gonna put you on the spot because you was in that museum.
Can't put me in no damn spot.
You was in the museum with me when I was better than the curator, and checked him on one of the things, and he said that is correct.
I know
and
what
they've changed it since then in the
What are you
Met.
talking about? What are you talking about?
When you was in the Met with me and Reggie doing the tour, and it's on video,
no, bro.
I'm correcting the curator on the spot.
See what I'm saying, Chuck?
And he's agreeing with me because we read the Metal
Asar
right
changed the Met. He a bad boy.
And you was next to me when I did it on
man,
the video.
I see what I'm saying, Asar.
You on tape.
You see what I'm saying, Chuck? Crazy, bro. This man actually think that he look, watch this. That a person standing in the Met beside me, listen, told the curator, like we really seen the damn curator. Just listen to me now. Happened to run across the curator in the Met during that day. Some weird ass reading. He stood beside Brother Ankh, and then Asar correct. Hey, read this, curator. It's wrong. Yo, you see how crazy it is, man? Yo, we got a wild community, Chuck.
Just what exactly did they change, though?
He ain't gonna tell you. Gonna make
what they changed?
Debate.
They changed what it said on the. So you have the actual metal nature on the side of two particular artifacts. They changed what they say on the note when you read it to what it actually should say after I read it in front of everybody.
Wow. This boy bad. Hey, I saw you got a before and after picture? You got a before and after picture?
Got the John. Reggie told me when they did it. But
so man, just standing thing. All right, I'm done. Come on, Joe. Ask. Right. I can't do it no more. I can't play. I'm starting.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, Chuck, that was a good presentation, Chuck. Hey, Chuck, I got a question for you, man. You know, like a lot of this stuff be over my head. So my question may sound elementary, but you know, I'm just a newbie trying to figure out what's going on. All right, so when I first heard Asar say that the Bantu language was like a spinoff from the Sumer language, you know, I was kind of thrown because I was like, man, this is like worlds apart. So is this argument rooted in? Is it really rooted in language families, or is it rooted in phenotypes, like somebody trying to make somebody an African when they aren't, or is it rooted in something else? What am I? Because I really don't understand what's going on. I'm kind of lost.
In my opinion, I think that he's trapped in it at this point because he's got publications out where he's inserted Sumerian, and anyone that has any familiarity with it, they can look at it and say that the way that he's using it, the definitions he's using, the phonetics that he's using is just not sound, and he can't pull back because then it's just like the errors that were in Malachi York's books. I mean, unless you come up with a good scheme and say that, well, it was true at that time. Yeah, that was a school that we went through, and then I've moved on, and then here's the real information. If you want to use that gimmick, you can use that. But yeah, I think the larger picture, the bigger picture and the scheme of it is that they're trying to in some way link the Sumerians with these African people, and the evidence just doesn't show that. What they'll do is they'll, like, I'll give you an example. Hermann Herrnstein, that's his pen name. That's not his actual name, but he would, in his Black Sumer book, he would push this whole notion that the Sumerians referred to themselves as black-headed people, and that was a way of saying that they were black people. I mean, to people
black hair or black bald head, like what you want to
just say. Black.
Okay, that's good because I try to engage people in that topic. Some people will say, well, they're talking about, when they say black heads, they're talking about black hair, but there's a specific word for hair in Sumerian, and it's not there.
So what do they say?
Siki is the word. And Siki is the reference, and this is found in Sumerian and in a loan word that was taken into Akkadian from Sumerian. Even the Babylonians, they refer to it as Sikipa, which is hair on the head. So they have specific words for that. Sangiga is not that word.
What is Saka?
Huh?
What does Saka mean? You
Saka?
Saka.
No, Siki.
I know, but we're putting vowels in. So I know, like the root, the SK, the S and the K root, right?
Well, the Sumerians use vowels.
Yeah, see.
What does Saka mean?
Oh, they almost tricked me.
It's Siki, which is
Oh,
hair.
you heard them say the Sumerians did use vowels, so that's important to kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. I ain't know that.
Yeah, because somebody hit me in the chat. Somebody hit me in the chat and say no.
Yeah, but
so,
they don't say that though. See, it's just bull crap. It's like Asar. Asar keep talking, crazy talk. Asar saying, I talked to the curator.
If you go to,
did you see his card? Asar, did he pull his card out and say, I'm the curator of this material?
You were standing there when I started Arabic, and the girl just walked over to me and finished my words. You stood on the spot, but that's what's up. Let me ask you this, Chuck.
If I can't, hold on. I want to before you go there, hold that thought. I just want to share something real quick. Okay.
But I appreciate you being on though, so I don't get it twisted.
I'm glad he's on.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Yeah. So I did this presentation years ago on the Sumerian. This is like a follow-up to the one that I did.
Is that the black head right there?
oh snap! It wasn't black, like an alien to me though.
What the hell? What the?
Hell no! Don't tell me that's a Nibiru. That's the Nibiru, Chuck. That's the Nibiru, Chuck. That's the Nibiru.
Yo, got to.
Hey Chuck, you walked right into that one, man.
You walk into what? What I did was I showed the ridiculousness of it. That's what I wanted to do with that illustration. Let me see if I can.
Yo, you crazy? That's funny.
No, what I did. No, because this is good because we're getting somewhere. I wanted to show. I did that.
It's a black Anunnaki.
Oh yeah, right here. So this is what I did. So based on all the available literature and iconography, the Sumerians Sumerians clearly, and conscious of their the difference between whitehead and blackhead. This is part of that presentation, and I was showing that if they were referred to as the blackhead, then you got here's a blackhead. So what about the body?
Oh man.
Y'all sure that's not Yakub? Y'all sure that's not Yakub? That's not Yakub, is it?
Different doctrine.
Different doctrine.
Yeah, one is in America.
So
okay, so what was they trying to say? Go ahead.
Huh? Black-headed seagull. You funny.
Black-headed, the brown-headed cowbird. You got the black. What is it? You got the black raven. See, these are names that the Sumerian scribes have for specific animals.
Okay.
And I always make sure that I have an inscription where you can locate it. So when it comes down to something like a black head, you're just not going to find it as being a black person.
Mm. So they were trying to say what though? What was the point they were trying to make?
Well, they say the blackheads are the blackheads because they want to say that those particular Sumerians were black people.
What?
So they chase that. They kind of chase that title around.
Yeah, that's something you do. Y'all do the same thing with the soil.
And here's the thing. In Samuel Kramer, I put this particular book up because it hits right to the point. Mm-hmm. So in his book on page 284 through 85, Sumerian history, culture, blah blah blah. He makes the clear point, and this is it's still in the early stage of Assyriology. Mm-hmm. He makes it clear that the Sumerian people, the blackheads, call themselves from at least 2000 BC on, where only a part of this larger mankind but needless to say, a very important part. Let me go to the bit. Okay, so before they referred to themselves, before the Akkadians referred to them as Sangiga or Sangig, which is what it was, they referred to themselves in textual sources as Namlulu.
What
the
is
people.
That? Okay.
Now the Akkadians use that, and then it would come. Here's the thing, and this is what I pointed out. Let's see if I can pull that slide. The Sangiga was a post-Akkadian and Gutian name. It was not a marker for an ethnic nor racial group. The Sumerians described human activities and humans in their world order. And after the first creation phase, man behaves as beasts. In the second phase, man obtains the instruments for the establishment of culture, and ultimately he becomes a true human, the first real humans, as a gift from the gods, having the ability to revere and praise the Anuna. So this word sang was used to mean a head, which is also used as the first, the top, foremost, special. That's why, as Kramer was pointing out, that they were indeed a special people, because they were put in an enclosure that the gods took care of them like sheep. Endo makes that point. So the Sagi or Namlulu, they were a special people that the gods took care of, separate from all the other groups.
Is that like the first Garden of Eden?
So why the black part in there though?
Well, see, that's the thing. In the early stage of it, they don't even use that as a definition for black as a color. It's used as being a term. Here, let me.
So you're saying the word black? So they're not saying blackhead. What are they saying?
No, not literal. No.
Oh, so who the hell came up with the blackhead?
Early Assyriologists in Assyriology infancy. Now you still see people who still use it, but
I was going to say Smash.
But let me pull it up.
Smash did that. Hey, also, while you looking for that, didn't you talk about the soil?
Hold up.
All right.
No, I don't know anything about that. So all right. So here we go. All right. So if you go to the
Chuck said, leave me out of that.
The Electronic Pennsylvania Sumerian Dictionary, they identify it, and because in context is used as identifying the human family or a people in particular, because of course Namlulu was the word for people or mankind, and the Akkadians used the word Sangig to identify those people, and it was used and is first attested in Assyrian in Neo-Sumerian literature. So it was used post Namlulu, after the Akkadians and the Gudayans were removed from out of ancient Sumer. And this identifies, like in the Akkadian, they have the word Gamat Kakali, or humankind, or people. That's how it's found in the literature. And the equivalent would be what they later used as Sangiga. Not literally black. Just like head was not literally identifying the top of a person's head.
Let me ask you, when we
this last part. Let me put this last part. So if you go to the Kad again, it identifies in the because it's even in the Code of Hammurabi when it talks about the expression the Makakadi, an Akkadian word, is a poetic term referring to mankind as a totality created by the gods and kept in the safe pastures by the king. The literal meaning likewise poses a problem because the reference to black hair is not without any parallel in Akkadian. So if you go to the Electronic Pennsylvania Text Corpus of the Literature, as well as the Assyrian Dictionary of the Oriental Institute, page 76, it identifies and clears all of that up. This is even, if you substitute black heads for humanity in the Code of Hammurabi, Zamat, Kalkadi, Watsima, it's real clear. Context is the key, because if you were reading this and you just translate it as the black head, there's no full understanding of it, and then that takes you off into the speculation that has nothing to do with how the context and how the sentences are put together. So even in, like I said, the Assyrian Dictionary, If you go to well, here I got a whole bunch of them right here. So it didn't literally mean black head, because there's no source that specifically identifies it black in color in the top of the head, because we have multiple inscriptions where hair, black hair, is identified. And if you look at the Sumerians in the latter period, at least the Ur period, because even when I even talked to Materialist that we talked about, so literally it is black-headed, but the understanding is that it refers to the people of the land, the citizens of the land, particularly the Mesopotamians, whatever that looks like. So the people over whom the gods have care for them, which for them would have been that smaller group in Mesopotamia, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and whoever is there. But in theory, encompasses all of humanity. So yes, so that's why, yes, most translations are accurate, but if you want a more specific, it's usually the people under the god's care, specifically Mesopotamians, Halan, the land itself. That was from a show I did a bit more question of. So if you look at the Sumerians in the latter period, you'll see how they identified themselves, or you can clearly see them as being Paul. Now, I think that online you have this poem right here. What is it? Remember, I don't know if I back in the early days on YouTube, I mean not YouTube, Facebook, when it said it said there was from a 4,000-year-old inscription by Sumerian Lu Dingir Ra, where it talks about, according to rumors and the results of my research as to why we have called ourselves dark heads, I found out that before our forefathers migrated here, blonde-haired and blue-eyed people were living next to their country. I cannot visualize a person with blonde hair and blue eyes, and I don't think it would be nice. I have not seen any person like that in my country. This is supposed to be from this person, Lu Dingir Ra, talking about the black heads. But when you go and look into the inscription itself, the above quote has been used for several years by advocates of the Black Sumerians ideology for years online. However, when you take the time to research it, you'll find out it to be fallacious, having claimed to have been written by a Sumerian. But when you read it, it has no, that thing that I just read about blue eye and all that, no, it's not there. They made it up. And that's that.
Wow.
That's that.
They made that up.
Here's the message, and this is
hold up. They made it up.
Yep. Yeah. Because
wow.
if you read that inscription, this is what it said: the Royal Courier, start the journey.
Blackology.
That's what he's sending to his mother. It does not mention blonde hair, does not mention blue eyes.
Man, I can't believe we went through all that.
Wow.
Man, we done, you know what, Chuck, man? Hey, Chuck, you know how many years we done had to go through this, man? You know, man, I just make you want to scream, yo.
You be tripping me out. Hey, man, I've known going back to the 1990s. I think I've known him more than anybody, man. The dude ain't changed a bit. It's just been hilarious. Let me stop saying this.
Hey, man, that was a fire presentation. After that presentation, man, the great Asar Hotep, for you, this is a pseudo alert.
Damn.
Yeah, you got that, Asar.
Blow my eardrum.
It's a pseudo alert. Yeah, man, pseudo alert. The files open, all that. We not fix that work, man. Get your work to somebody to give you some help, man, to get that together, man.
Oh, by the way, because see, all those videos that he had done recently, like that word, I forget the word already. I did back-to-back responses, cleared it up, refuted anything he had to say, and of course he moved on. And another one was that presentation on Kidiru and how that was. That was just crazy. But what I did was, and if you don't mind, In the latter part of this presentation on Kadiru, I had because this I even did, like I said, I did a post. I even did a whole presentation in response to the thing that he did. Kadiru and Kemen debunk again. Sorry, Imhotep's continued pseudo-linguistic buffoonery.
Not the blah. The
but what I had to put that mess in the trash where it belongs. What I did was
is that a trash can? The comparative dictionary of the scamming.
Yes, so what I offered to him was in that area in the section where it says stop pseudo linguistics, and I cited Hox's reconstruction must be based on systematic correspondences across a significant portion of vocabulary, not isolated similarities. The moment one abandons regularity, any word can be made to look like another. And that's part of the trick that he does. So what I did was I offered to him, if he was truly serious about his groundbreaking research in Sumerian being related to all the African languages, feel free and submit your work. Here you are. I gave it to him. I gave him a list. Here, go there. Go to him. The Journal of Afro-Asiatic Language and Linguistics. These are peer-reviewed sources. Come on, man. Don't tell me you can't find it to submit it. Don't have me have to go and find and pay some Assyriologists just to waste their time so you can build your notoriety on their name. Because they have a lot to lose. You ain't got nothing to lose because you are a YouTube character. You're a YouTube and Facebook personality.
Damn.
Yes, sir. I'm proud of mine. Damn. Yes, sir. You know, I'm definitely proud of mine. I'm glad and happy to be a YouTube personality.
Yeah. If you're in that, but when you claim yourself to be a linguist and a historian, yet you won't submit your work that you claim to have studied for over 20 years, you won't do that, but you'll put up a red herring to have us chase down this argument that I won't submit my understanding of your work to Assyriologists and have them come over to your platform and critique you when you're supposed to take that work to those that you say are your peers.
Let me ask you, Chuck. We have.
I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about your claim that you talked to the curator.
I wanted to ask him a question real quick.
We're gonna get it, but
it's crazy. Why do you do that?
The Black Semitics.
Asar, why do you do that, bro?
What you want us to pull up? What's his name?
Yeah.
You want us to pull up? What's his name? Video.
You're ready to pull his card out of his pocket.
What's his name? Video.
Without no permission, he just took your word for it, huh, Asar? He took your word for it out of nowhere.
Saber Reggie gonna say, okay, we have some experienced people here in our chat.
I'm gonna call him.
And they always say that they're good at metal nature. Let's see who can read. As soon as he says this, Asar Imhotep, Ankh, and I think my brother Sanjeti.
I saw that.
You know what it is. They disappeared. Ankh came back a little later, and then we have it looked like about 100 people. I don't know.
What? I don't run for you. What are you talking about? I run from none of y'all. None of y'all experts. I don't even run for the experts. It ain't like we shooting guns.
We're gonna let him sleep tonight.
I learn something every time.
We're gonna let Ankh sleep tonight. But let me ask you this concerning some of the Black Semitics that we do see in ancient Egypt, right? We don't know where they come from, but when we got names like Beni Yah, who changed his name to Paheka Amen, or when we have Yehuda, who has Nebuchadnezzar, Inca, and different things like that on his coffin, and he's painted, he looked like Heinz Ward on the coffin. When we have these different Semitics, where do you attribute that they came from? Because we see in the Egyptian text that they come in through a census. So we know they're not originating in Egypt. They're coming from somewhere. Where would you state that they're coming from? Where would they get these types of names from?
Who, me? That's not my area of study.
Okay.
But Chuck, real quick, what's the word for black in Sumerian?
Um,
Man, my mic.
Geek.
Who?
Geek.
Gee? How do you say land?
Land.
Mm-hmm.
Kalam.
Kalam.
No,
So
Kalam.
Kalam.
Kalam. If you put it in the transliteration, Kalam.
Kalam. So G.
Now there is a word key, but
Key.
that's a determinative that's used. Say if you're going to look at Eridu, or you see Eridu key, you don't pronounce key, of course, it's a determinative. So when they put that sign, the word that after it or before, depending on how it's used, lets you know that that's talking about a toponym.
What is the determinative key?
What is it?
Yeah.
It's a classifier letting you know that what's following that particular word is talking about a particular place.
It's showing that it's a land, like a district, irrigated area.
Irrigated? No.
Okay.
No, they have a whole nother word for that.
Never heard. Say cool. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Good to have you stop back through. Grace your presence, man. What's on your mind? You got a question for Mr.
It's
Chuck?
like the Sandetta it's like a lot of these personalities I see on Sandetta's show.
Peace.
How you doing there, brother? Say cool.
How are you doing?
Good. All right.
Yeah, I just have a question for this brother. His name is difficult to pronounce. Lugal.
Oh, that's just a little thing I put up there. My name is Chuck Morgan. That's Lugal Kiengi Kiori. Lugal is
the perfect
Lugal
black one with the black head. That's what it means.
No, Lugal is king, and Kiengi is the name of Sumer, and Kiori is the name of Akkad. So I just that's the first word that I was able to learn and translate. I like it.
Yeah, I was like, it's very good to study these things, but I'm just wondering why you call Asar Imhotep a pseudo-linguist.
I'm gonna mute out.
Because I am wondering, like, I'm not a linguist, by the way. I'm just a student, and I'm also reading these different writings from different scholars. And I see Asar Imhotep as a primary researcher. He likes to go to the primary. He likes to come up, what Diop told us to do, direct knowledge. That means you don't have to go with the convention and be stuck with what the consensus is. But you have to go on the field and do field research. And sometimes the convention might disagree with you because you are trying to pioneer some areas. So people would disagree with you. For example, when Charles Darwin started his theory, some people think he was crazy. Okay. They thought he was saying nonsense, but now we know that genetics and other stuff are proving that what he was saying make a lot of sense. So if you don't have a debate yet with someone, can you say because their work is not in line with the conventional scholarship, therefore it's pseudo? Is that the approach?
No, that's not the approach. What the approach is that based on the claims that's made by the individual, that he being a historical linguist, and he has all of this experience in that particular field of study. Parts of his work that he's presented shows flaws in that system and violating the very rules or the principles that was established over 200 years ago, using words just like what we went through tonight. Just as an example, Urim, as well as another word, bow, and a long list of terms, to use words that are not even in the Sumerian language, one. Two, using transliteration as the basis of your linguistic comparative correspondences shows a flaw. Now, I say that it's pseudo because you're intentionally being deceptive as opposed to making an academic mistake, because you're seeing a consistent pattern in this behavior. When you purposely hide the sources of where you're deriving these words from, and then when we go to find those words, we see that it clearly tells you what you're not. But you use that source. I have to conclude that you're being intentionally deceptive. And that's why I refer to him as a pseudo-linguist, among other people that debated him. A friend of mine, Ned, did a fantastic job in presenting that evidence before a body of people in that debate that they had on YouTube.
Okay.
Hey, let me say something to you, Say Cool. Okay. I see exactly where you at, Say Cool, and I can actually help you, yo. When you talk about Charles Darwin, that wasn't people thinking he was crazy. It was the religious community that had felt offense with it. Charles Darwin didn't even come up with the idea of evolution. We can go back to the ancient Nile Valley culture where they talk about Kepler, and things evolved. They evolved from evolution. I am Kepler, right? The sun, right? They get this concept from the dung beetle, rolling the dung, putting a lobby in it, and it transforms and rolls, right? Rolling, and out of the lobby, out of the dung beetle. Out of the dung comes the dung beetle, right? You also know that the Greeks talked about it, and you got people like Lamech and them. You got African named Al-Jahid. He wrote a 7-volume set. 7-volume encyclopedia. You know what I mean? So the evolution was not a brand new thing. Okay. Matter of fact, Wallace. Okay, we get the Wallace line. Why certain mammals can't cross the Wallace line. That's Wallace. Wallace also did some work, right? He came up with natural selection somewhere around the same time Darwin did, right? Had bits and pieces of it. Okay, so nobody wasn't looking at him like he was crazy, but it was a world, right, that at that point, actually those that was Muslim, Christians, and Jews, or let's never forget the indigenous people in Ghana, Central Africa, South Africa, okay, Morocco, all over the place, right, had their own indigenous ancestral shrines that talking about that area, right, and how they deified their great ancestors, whether it was coming out of the water, the Dogon, right, the sky, the Egyptians, all that, but they was connecting you with their ancestral shrines, right? Colonialism, right? We talked about that, the 3 monolithic religions. They said you came from the Garden of Eden, right? You trace the lineage of Jesus right on back through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, straight to Adam and Eve, right? So these are all ancestral shrines. So during the time period of Charles Darwin, scientific racism, they all trying to figure this out, bro. The majority of the world is religious thinking. Nobody had a cohesive evolutionary scientific theory on why things on Earth, biological organisms, why they transform and why they so connected. Nobody had that. So he was pushed into a world, that was, we all religious thinking. Even when you say you're atheist, your thinking is religious and spooky. You go outside at night, the bush ramble, your ass is jumping. I don't care how atheist you is. And even when you're atheist, you still got belief and you still have faith. You might not have religious faith. You might have religious belief, but you believe in something because we're hardwired for that. So only people thought that man was crazy was the religious folks. So that's not a good statement. But he was a naturalist. He was actually a part of the field. Asar is not a part of the field. He part of the YouTube community. That's my man. Just like you say, cool, man, you debate, we fight, but we not experts and we not in the field and we can't transform the field. And if me and you say we transform the field, then you already know, we scamming at that point because you got to be in the field to transform the field, to change the field. You can't say I'm the best NFL kicker and ain't never kicked in a goddamn NFL game. You just kicking down the damn alley. So we basically fighting in that alley, trying to educate our people, trying to bring forth scholars. And let me tell you something that Imhotep told me one day. This go back 15 years ago, 16, 17, 18 years ago. Let me get this straight. He said, you know, Ankh, he said, yeah, I know you got Diops, you got Dr. Ben, you got all that, yo. He said, yo, but there's another level to this, yo. So 18, 19 years ago, Asar was already breaking out of the all of that. Made me say, huh, really? So he was already getting the top scholarly material. So out of everybody, that man know he can't come in front of us and play linguist. He might can play in front of y'all, but he can't play in front of me because he got to get the credentials. He got to get checked by the checker, yo. How I know? How you know? We don't know. Damn, Chuck took this man 3-4 years to get to what he's saying right now. He seriously, bro, like, none of us knew about no daggone Sumerian shit, bro. We could play the Egyptian game and people start reading the Manetch, but nobody around us start reading Sumerian, nothing. And Dr. Ben and them, Chancellor Williams and them, they all talked about the blackheads. It took this man 3 minutes to make us realize we was nuts thinking that. Now, it's not our fault. It's not the elders' fault. They just wasn't educated in that, bro. And so at a certain point, when we hear the right things, if we want to be better, say cool. And I hear you talking about science and going with that, yo, but I seek to be better than I was yesterday, right? I seek to have a better attitude and a better decorum, else I'd be cussing you out right now. You feel me? I seek to be a better African-American, Black African than I was last week, than I was at our debate. I just seek to be a better person. I'm getting older and I hope I get wiser. So I'm telling you what it is, bro. I'm not around here playing, right? I love all my bros. I'm not disrespecting nobody, but I'm telling you right now, bro, there's a system that you can figure out and get, and you can check us, yo, and you can see who playing and who not. That was a long one, but I just wanted to get that in, yo, because I really love people, yo.
Right. So thank you for that, Ankh. I understand what you're saying. My problem is that calling somebody pseudo just because you disagree, or maybe I understand what the brother just said, that he found that he was disingenuously using some word material, using some material wrongly. Yeah, academics, that's very wrong. But what I'm saying is that, are you discarding the entirety of his work, or is just something that you saw that you are critiquing? Because a scientist, there is no scientist that is infallible. All great scientists, they have places that they made errors. And we don't call them pseudo because we find out they were wrong in certain areas. Right. So Asar is doing tremendous work, and his area is on the Congo Bantu language and all of that. Have you studied all of his work and provided a critique on them that they are all false? Or just because on this Sumerian material you think then we should discard all of his work as pseudo?
Right. Okay. Well, my specialty is dealing with Sumerian language. All right. From what I have seen from his work, I'm finding mistakes, errors, lies, and blatant deception in that regard. Now, there are other individuals that have critiqued his work. He's made presentations before ASCAP, and they've come up with their decision on how he is and what his teaching is. And one of those is Dr. Mario Beatty. In 2019, he doesn't use the term pseudo. I use it because it's personal now. So what he stated was that Asar's method, unfortunately, is not a historical comparative method. It's an ahistorical comparative method. That's coming from someone who is a trained historical linguist. And this was done at it was Mario Beatty, at the 2019 Associated Professor at Howard University at the ASCAP conference. The brother Anetter Neb, who is now a historical linguist who's still reaching to get his doctorate in that field, has debated Asar and Imhotep and have demonstrated clearly in no uncertain terms of how his method is flawed because, for one, he uses transliterations for pronunciation. And I find that with his use of Sumerian, he's going to use words to try to link to African languages and say that this word, and make certain pronunciations to coincide with these various languages, which comes after the fact. Yet, the very experts who put these words together will tell you that we don't know how they sound. And you're going to use a transliteration. You're using scholarly conventions of what they're saying that it is. And those scholarly conventions are not found within the inscription. Just like what I pointed out earlier was the rhotic, the R sound. So when you use burr and kidiru and these types of terms, the R is not there. Those are scholarly conventions. This is understood in Sumerian grammar. So when the student comes across that, they'll know that this is something that the scholars put together. And that's based on what the Akkadians have put together in their bilingual dictionary, Sumero-Akkadian dictionary. He's supposed to know that. But because that's not his lane, it's easy to sell a book and make these declarations. But when someone who looks at it, checks it, and sees that, no, this is not one word, we're seeing an entire glossary of this type of mistake. And this, to me, shows a part of the reason why this is not submitted before professionals in that field. I'm not saying that someone who hasn't gone through the academic rigorous course of scholarly debate, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're going to make the claim that you are a professional and these people are wrong, yet you can't say that, well, I don't have to go to them. You can't say that because he's using a straw man argument to me, for me to go and get scholars to critique him when he can take his work of his choice after 20 years of research. According to him, he can take his work and take it to the scholars so they can sit back and debate it. The experts battling or debating, discussing the expert, not just the brother who's focused on one area, but the people who study what he studies.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So I say pseudo because I put it in the layman's terms, because dudes start taking shots at me, so I'm just returning the favor. So yeah, it's personal.
it definitely is between you two. When you look at,
I don't like them. They put it that way. I don't like them.
Fuck. And I would say that this concerning, because I still think it goes over people's head when you say it.
Now, we can't listen to you, Asar. I'm not letting you say nothing about Asar Tep. As long as you sitting on that line talking about a curator's step.
I know that's your homie.
At the Met Museum.
I know that's your homie.
You read some words and they said, you know what? I'm going to change that. You worse than Asar at this point. Asar.
I know that's your homie.
That name Asar these days, bro. This is funny.
You know, sometimes curators can't read what they
curator. Now personally curate the material.
Let me say.
Anyway. That camera on me.
Let me say this, right?
Don't say nothing about Asar. I ain't gonna let you get away with it. You correct that.
Watch. There's because I still think it's going over their head, Chuck. Mm-hmm. He's going to use Egypto speak, or what is it called in Sumerian? Sumagak. You just showed the word that they use to add vowels. Sumero-Akkadian, which means they're using the Akkadian vowels to give you the Sumerian word in order to make his case for how the word should be pronounced or announced. And when you do that, it's really no different than David Rowe when he tried to do it.
So real quick question. Why can't Akkadian was the link for Frankfurt, right?
No, Sumerian.
You talking to Asar about this?
Of course.
Don't ever ask
me. Stupid at this point.
Yeah.
Watch this. Do you read Metal Nature?
Man, listen, man. This guy to sit up here and tell me that if I can't read Metal Nature, that I don't know that they ain't call themselves black people in 1200 BCE. 1,000 years before white people made this shit up, yo. And think about that, yo. Like they promote racism. Like African indigenous people don't got their own names without white people. Like we gotta project our minds and our ideas back on indigenous people. Like they're not allowed to have their own names. And even when they come with their own names, we put our own meaning on it. What the hell is that? If that ain't slavery, we run around here marginalized, promoting slavery on our own people. The same with the pastors. It's a new wave of pastors out here these days. You know what they doing? Oh yeah, Jesus Christ was black. But wait a minute. Jesus Christ, based off of what black people believe, you took us from our ancestral shrine, right? And so we believed in Christ, not because of the color of his damn skin. My grandmother, my mother had the white Jesus on the damn walls until the 60s, right? And why? Because they just believed in Christ and believed that they needed salvation based off all the punishment and torture that we went through. They needed salvation, bro. They didn't care what color it was. Now these new fake pastors following wild black algae, right? They dive into the community talking crazy about them and didn't do the same damn thing. I'm never going for it. Just like I'm never going for Asar getting up here talking about Asar, and you worse than Asar. You super duper pseudo, confusing, incoherent, and out of control at times. And I'm done with that. Man, we had a great show, man. This shit been banging.
I wanted to ask you one question.
No, we not talking more done because now I'm messing up Chuck's show and I'm hot. I'm hot.
No, turn that fan on in the back.
I ain't got no fan. I threw the fan out the window just now.
But I think
I didn't ask you my question.
So Chuck, let me pose a question to Chuck real quick. So,
no, I've been waiting to ask my question for the longest. Everybody else did ask seven. Nah.
Hey, yo, hold on. I'm gonna put you in the back. I know how to handle this. Chill out. We hollering, no. I'm the only one can act a nut for a minute.
Can I say something last about the black issue?
Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna let you hold on, but I'm gonna let Sabio ask his quick question, and then you say cool.
Yeah. So I'm done with my first question. Thank you for your response.
I got you. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Go ahead, Sabio, real quick. Go ahead, Sabio. Hurry up.
All right. It was a great presentation, and I just wanted to ask you because I've been hearing this conversation with these black people, these black-headed people, and these Sumerians for a long time. These Sumerians been black. And my question is, did the Sumerians know anything about quote-unquote black people at that time?
Perhaps they did. I'm pretty sure they would have. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have Africans.
But I'm trying to say if they use the word black. That's what I'm saying, not Africans. That's why I use the word black.
Right. Like I said, I don't doubt that there may have even been Africans living in one of those city states. However, we don't find in Sumerian inscriptions where they spoke of any, mentioned any, or even had a word for it.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Now, what I did, I challenged anybody within that pushes that to bring that evidence forward, if any.
It's never gonna happen. It's gonna be a lot of flim flam. Go ahead, say cool. What's on your mind there?
Yeah. So I don't know anything about this black-headed stuff, so I'm not talking about.
You never heard the Sumerians was black, yo?
Yeah, part of the black people, but not black-headed. But in fact, in my language, when you say someone is a black-headed, it means they are ignorant.
Okay.
So as you see, what language is that?
Madingo, kumfing. It means black-headed means you are ignorant.
That's interesting because you have now. If that is what you're deriving from that modern interpretation of the word black-headed, that goes to show you that it did have significant meaning in different languages.
Yeah. So, but when we say Sumerian were black people or the ancient Egyptian were black people, I think the point we are using is to say those people who built those civilizations, if you were to bring them in modern life, how they look like then, if you brought them into our modern context of race, they will fit into the category of people we call black people today. It's the same thing when we say Greeks were white people. Greeks were not going around saying we are white people.
Right.
They never said that. But when we look at them today, the only population we pair them with is the population of white Caucasian in Europe. That's why the convention is that Greeks and Romans were white. But that's not how they were going around identifying themselves.
Yeah.
So if we say that ancient Egyptian or black people are Sumerian, we are using that same thing. We are not saying back then necessarily they were using the racial category. But we said the people who built that civilization, they will not be mistaken for Chinese ancestors or Japanese ancestors. They will be compared to a modern population that look like black people in different category of black people today.
Okay.
So you double talk. Don't jump in. You want to say something, Chuck?
Yeah.
Go ahead, because I got a great answer.
Because that's a good point, and I'm gonna share my screen because I think this is relevant.
That's a horrible point. I would disagree.
No. I'm gonna show you how I would approach that. All right. Well, for one, I wanted to cite a friend of mine that we kind of shared the this kind of storyline as far as Sumer and that kind of thing. And he said something in one of his lives that I cited, I quoted because I thought it was relevant to it. I'm trying to find it. Give me a second. Right there. And this is something that our brother Zion Lex, whatever you think of him, I'm citing this because it's very significant. It makes sense. I think they know who they are. And I know that we sound crazy telling them that they are something other than what they themselves depict themselves as. We sound crazy. And so when you make that statement, I look at the people and how they depicted themselves. So if I look at an individual like this, I say, okay, I'm trying to find the African thing in this, even though they don't talk about it. I'm just saying how they depicted themselves. It doesn't kind of fit that notion of what we identify, the black people building whatever edifice in the world, how they saw themselves may be different than what we in modern USA see them as.
They black people.
Yeah. Okay. So, when I see stuff like this, now this is what got me in trouble with Asar, because Herman Hermstein, he used an image. It's not in this slide, it's in another slide. But what he used was on the cover of that book, Black Sumer, he used an individual named Gudea.
Mm-hmm.
But the image that he used was the same individual.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he used the erudite to describe himself, and then sometimes he used alabaster.
Right.
So, I mean, even during the Earth 3 period in Sumer, they never mentioned African people. Now, granted, in Mesopotamia, the Neo-Assyrians, even the Akkadians who dealt with ancient Egyptians at some point, had this back and forth correspondence. However, how they depicted themselves, I'm just going by how they depicted themselves. It's just not like we would see, say, an Egyptian, or if we would just see the standard, like in the standard of 4. You see these depictions. Matter of fact, yeah. So if you look at this excellent piece of work here called The Standard of War, and it's depicting various scenes, a war scene, the banquet scene, on and on and on.
So Chuck, real quick to the point.
No, because I'm going next. I ain't gonna let you slide in. You tried to slide in. I'm trying. I don't want to forget what I was gonna say. Nope. You gonna ask me a question about that?
Yeah.
I got a question for Chuck on this right here.
Hold on.
It's to the
back
point
to say cool.
Now.
I gotta go back to say cool.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know what he said. I got
So-
at this point. I got.
No, he said something. What is that?
Yeah.
Hold on, Chuck, real quick to the point that you're making right now. It's in regards to corresponding to Egyptian iconography, right? It looks like the Fayum figurines, Badarian time period, Nakada time period.
It don't look nothing like that, yo.
It does. Also,
no, it don't. All right, man, you cut in. Come on, yo, you cut in.
Hold on.
Go, King J. You wasn't supposed to go next anyway, because I got a burning desire to say this piece. Respond if you say cool. I gotta say it. Just like you got a burning desire, I got a burning desire. To you say cool, okay? The word black people is very, very ambiguous. We don't know what the hell you're talking about. And the people we don't know how you're talking about. Hold on. Watch it. Hey, say cool. Listen. You're going to get to the point where your own words are used against you. You have a whole young population of YouTubers and damn TikTokers talking to black Indians. You got the fearless leader, Tariq Nasheed, saying indigenous black people in Americas, bro. It's a confusing term, to say the least, right? In the black community, it's a slick term. It's a term of politics. You talking about your blackness. It's dope. But when we talk in scholarship and population of people, it's a horrible word, because now we don't know what you're talking about. So if you're talking about Nile Valley Africans or black people, then what the hell are you talking about? Because they sure as hell ain't looking like West and Central Africans. They're looking more like Northeast Africans. And the closer to the Sinai you get, the more they ease they way into looking like Asiatic people. Because that's that's called natural selection. That's called evolution. They call that makes sense. But to say they black people is wild. What do you mean? Are you saying they're like West and Central Africans? That would not be true. And just because they don't look like West and Central Africans don't mean they ain't Africans. I had some Cato on this motherfucker. And we talked about that in nausea, and they all fucking ignored it. Both sides. So I don't know what you mean. I know when you say black, I'm thinking about the homie in the hood. And then if we was to look at the panel. If we looked at the panel right now, yo, what are you saying? Black, look at the different shades, yo. Look at my color. Look at King J color. Look at Chuck. Look at you. Look at him. What the hell is going on here? And so, no, you can't mean that. Because if you mean that, they ain't looking like nobody in America. Mostly, we got some African Americans that might ease in that a little bit, but then that's still confusion. So to take away all the damn confusion, just call them by their name, man. We look by their name and recognize they're indigenous to that Northeast Africa. They're not indigenous to Central and West Africa. They have a different ecological system, different types of food sources. So why we playing this game? You know why we playing this game? Because we slaves. And we slave to our mentality. See, they broke us, bro. And they broke us to the point where we are afraid to give African agency to those that had it. We selfish. We don't know what it's like to have We don't know what it's like. But you know what? Them damn indigenous Nile Valley Africans knew what the hell it was like. People in West Africa knew what the hell it was like. Central Africa, South, they knew what the hell it was to have their own indigenous spiritual ancestral shrines. And guess what we do? We try our best to take that shit away from them, because you know what, say cool? Misery love fucking company. See, now I know it. We know we miserable and we won't admit it. We ain't got shit to do with the Bible. We ain't got nothing to do with Egypt. And we sure as hell ain't got nothing to do with Egypt. Yo, you know what? We are proud West and Central African people. They brought spice to the world. When I say spice, they brought high-level science, right? I mean, high-level viruses.
Stand up.
That. We talking about the oldest pot tradition, pottery. A pottery back in them days, yo, it's like driving a daggone 747, bro. It changed the whole dynamics of the community, bro. It changed the dynamics of the world. But guess what? We follow white people. You know what? White people love Egypt. White people love Egypt. I'm gonna say this one more time. White people wrote more books on Egypt than anybody. See, we gotta follow the slave master. See, we don't want to be who we is. Nigeria has a beautiful culture, bro. You know what they do in Nigeria? They say, oh, the Nubians came over there and built some structures. It's some bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. Like West Africans ain't mastered brick making. It's crazy, bro. They don't need no damn Egyptians to make no damn bricks. They build their temples in bricks. They know how to do it. They don't need no Northeast Africans. And if they met each other back in the day, they would kill each other half to death. They was different tribes, different shrines, bro. So at the end of the day, why are Europeans allowed to have their own thing, yo? Why? Why the Russians can have their own things? Why the French can have their own things? Why the Brits can have their own damn thing? Why we gotta be one people? It's the most ridiculous thing that I've heard of, yo. And after 20 years looking at this thing, yo, we Uncle Tom the hell out with that shit. So knock it off. If you put an Egyptian back today, he ain't looking like none of us. And guess what? There's no one way to look African, bro. There's no one way to us to bro. At the end of the day, they do not got to look like African Americans to be indigenous to that damn landmass and create a great African civilization, bro. And with that, I'm fucking out of here, bro. I'm tired.
Let's go.
We have to respond.
Let's go.
And when the Persians and the Europeans brought it to that continent, it was a clear line drawn. It's called a bottleneck incident. Now you done rambled on about how
the pseudos out early. We don't even let them talk. He's done.
Can I speak?
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, I don't feel like you've lied like that man Asar has about evolution, about the Egyptians, about the fake. He faked the meta. They did all that. You're not that guy.
So you said we don't look like Ethiopia. I don't know if you know all the ethnic groups of Ethiopia, because I can show you the prime minister of Ethiopia before the current one, and he looks nothing but like a West African. You can show it, pull it up right now.
Yeah, go pull that up.
Yeah.
And they go get their DNA test on that.
I just put my screen. Can you put it up?
Yeah, I sure will. There you go.
Look at that man. He doesn't look West African.
What's his name? Now you're gonna make me do in real time. I'm gonna show you.
This is Haile Mariam. This is the prime minister.
Spell his name.
Haile Mariam.
Spell it.
And he look like an East African.
Come on, man. Come on. Yo, I'm trying to. I know you hear me say from the spell it. You can't talk at the same time. Come on, bro.
Haile. Mariam.
That's one name?
Yes.
All right. Haliema what?
RIAM.
Man don't look like no West African.
He doesn't look West African?
Nah, bro. He
no.
Like been eating too much. He needs
hell nah, he don't look like no West African.
No, you don't look at shit now, bro.
Your looking shit is horrible.
And you know what's funny about that statement?
I mean, really bad.
No. He say cool. He say cool. I'm gonna give you something that's serious.
No. This doesn't look West African. Then I'll be out of it.
That's horrible looking shit. Hell no.
Hey, say cool. You know what's crazy about evolution, bro? That you got African Americans to go to West Africa and say, yo, that look like Billy right there.
No way.
No, listen to me. You ever heard a person say that? Man, that look like my brother over there. Guess what, yo? It's not. That's a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah. Get that. See, now we in my lane. See? Now we there, yo. So you doing the looking shit, and that don't count, yo. It don't. It's a nice try though, bro. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I just want to show one more thing. I'm done.
Yeah, you can show it all y'all got. You know, man. Okay. Shit. Yeah, I ain't a hater now. I'm definitely a participator. Yeah, I mean, for real.
You a poet and don't know it.
All right. Can you share my screen again?
Hold on.
This how West African look right here.
Man, I ain't got nobody look. Right,
West African for you right here, staring at you.
You ain't put it up there. All right, go ahead. Okay. All right, here you go. Say cool. Hold on, let me get that. All right, what you got?
You want to see a West African?
All right, hold on, let me make it big for you. All right, what you got?
Does this man look West African or no?
Nah. I got it right in our face. Nope.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, man.
Wait.
If you don't see that East African ass no,
guys, can
that long ass no.
Can I finish?
Man, look, this shit be terrible, dude.
Terrible.
Can I finish then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys just said he doesn't look West African, but he's actually a prime minister of a West African country, Guinea. What do you say?
I say that. I mean, I ain't say it. I was like, you say, do what
He's
he
a
look like.
Fulani.
Right.
Wait,
so you
wait.
so you proved the point. So we was wrong, right?
Wait,
Where he from?
Wait.
We was wrong.
Now let him talk. We was wrong then, right? Say go.
You were
So
all
see how
wrong.
looks can deceive
Can I
you?
finish?
Yes, you can. Go ahead, sir.
This is now not good. You guys just said this guy doesn't look West African. He
Right.
look East
I
African.
said it.
Yeah,
But he's actually a West African.
I did too.
I'm coming.
Okay.
He was the
was
prime
wrong.
minister of Guinea-Conakry, West Africa, and he's from the Fulani tribe, and everybody in his tribe look just like this. The people you are calling East North
like that.
African, they are West African.
Well, Fulani are known to be light skinned though. Just to be
Can you
fair.
give me a gun salute now?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one. I don't know how to prove you think you prove the point.
And
Hold on,
the Fulani tribe migrated there. They're not from West
Oh,
Africa.
now the Fulani tribe migrated.
Yeah, I thought he knew they were
Where?
migrating, but no, I'm gonna give
From
you
where?
From the east.
From the east. So they couldn't have been in Egypt.
Not Egypt. I didn't say Egypt, but they're not from West
Where
Africa.
in the
It's like shooting.
I don't got you.
They're not from West Africa.
Hey, oh,
what?
look at the shirt, boy. That's a bad shirt right there.
Let me see. Hold on. What you got? Hold on.
You see that shirt?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me get you. Hold on. Let me take that down. Easy. Hold on. 1 second. That's a nice
Look at
shirt.
that joint.
Shoot,
That joint look hot.
Yeah, you bang it. Yeah, that's it right there. That's sick. Wow, you looking right. Yeah, that's slick right there, bro.
Hey, look, and the same face on that dude is the same face I'm giving Sekou right now.
Hey, Sekou, you on firm looking ship, yo. You got us, yo. That proved the point. We can't look and tell, yo. You got me. What you want me to say?
I got you guys because
you got us. I'm not mad.
I got a question for Chuck, though.
He was right, though. I mean, what you want me to say?
I got a question for Chuck. Hey, Chuck, I got a lookership question for you.
Oh, man.
I gotta ask him.
Look at this guy.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah. Where's this guy from?
Stop it, Sekou. You got us. We just told you got us. You gonna beat us into the ground now?
Okay.
Look, Eritrean.
Yeah, what is he? What is he not? What is he?
This is the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame.
Yeah, that's East.
I ain't never seen. I don't know. I ain't never seen no. I don't know. You got me on that. I thought he was damn.
But Rwanda, there's a lot of them look different.
They say cool.
They got different groups in
there. You gonna do better at this than us.
Compare him to the guy I just showed you from West Africa.
No, so generally, hold on, yo. So generally speaking,
African.
I got a question for Chuck.
You look about
come on, yo. All right, yo. You got
one. Let's let him have that. Hey, Chuck. I was watching this guy.
Egyptians look like West Africans.
No, man. No, stop, man. That's horrible. Hey, Chuck. Hey, Chuck. I was watching this one guy. I cannot think of his name. He has this whole build. It's called Black Studies. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but he goes to the Sumerians and he uses these two. They have two heads. You might know what I'm talking. I think it's a woman. They got these two heads that they always use to say that the Sumerians was black. You know what? Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
No. Two heads.
Yeah, they always show the picture with the two heads, and it look like women, but they they carry the a very strong African phenotype.
I
don't know. I would have to see where that image.
Can I show you guys something else?
Let me see if I can find it. I'll be back.
Can you see this first? Do you know this guy?
No, where he from?
Now he's from the same Rwanda, same ethnic group as Kagame.
I just said there's a whole bunch of groups down in there.
This is a Tutsi, and this guy is a Hutu. You see the difference?
One of them is
who beside him? Who that right there beside him? Paul. Oh, look at him. Look how right. No, you the other way. That's the same guy. No, with the green beret on.
That's Paul Kagame. That's Paul
hey man,
Kagame.
hey yo, you know if we dig into their background, you're gonna get mad, yo, because you're gonna figure out who they mother. It's gonna be wow. It ain't gonna be what you think it is.
No, those are you. Don't you know about the Tutsi and the Hutu war?
Yeah. Absolutely.
They fought each other because of phenotype.
Yeah.
This is African thing. West
Yeah,
Africans don't have a particular look. You and I, my look is more popular, but there are people who don't look like me in
yeah,
West Africa.
I agree. But we talking about the whole population of Nile Valley Africans, yo, that's been in that area for
But you
damn
can
near
find all the
10,000 years, yo.
phenotype in the Nile Valley. All
Because
the
they got a certain diet, they transform to their environment, yo. They look, fundamentally speaking, yo, they mixing with different people, yo. It's like an African American, yo. Like African Americans mix with we mix with Native Americans to small degrees, and we mix with colonial
and
powers, yo.
the
So
Fulani have
we're gonna have a
40%.
variation there. That's all.
The Fulani have the higher population in West Africa. You know that they are the higher ethnic group more
But
than
the
all of
Fulani
us.
migrate back and forth.
The Fulani are the highest. They have they
They
are
migrate and they
okay.
migrate, yo.
They are 40% in Guinea. In Nigeria, they are the highest. They are all over. You think they are not minority?
Yeah,
they are majority.
They move a lot. But so you don't look at you ain't looked at the Egyptian walls though, yo. Why don't you look on the wall?
So you want to tell me I can pull out an Egyptian that look like us right now? You want to challenge that?
Pull it up. Yeah, pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up. Pull up the character so we know what we're looking at.
All right.
And say, cool. Is it gonna be from the north or the south?
I don't know. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stop and leave Chuck show right where it's at.
Yeah, I got about 5 more minutes. I gotta go pick somebody up.
Yeah, I want you to get your 5 more minutes, man. Hey, you got any closing words, Chuck? We can come back and say cool and have that fun,
man.
yo.
My closing words is I enjoyed myself. It was fun. It is always fun laughing and hanging out with you, man. You know, my whole thing is I just hope that anyone that watches this, feel free to critique it. I put up the sources so you can always go back and reference it, and then you'll see what I'm saying is just the way that it is. If all he has to do is just admit that it's wrong and then move on. I won't have to even deal with that. But then I got a whole slew of other parts of this thing that I haven't even pulled out yet. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you for allowing me to come on and share with your audience the information that I have. I thank all those who contributed. I appreciate the questioning. I'm just enjoying this whole thing, man. I appreciate it all because I know we've been trying to do something because when my schedule is just hard. So when I'm doing this stuff, I'm putting these programs together at work because I just don't have time because I work 7 days a week. Then got a small business too, and family time, and on and on and on. So it's not easy. But I'm glad we was able to do this thing. And I thank everybody, all the brothers up here, for, in taking part in the dialogue and engaging. Good questions, and hopefully we can do this again. And I think this is it for me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. Chuck, man, I know y'all know how to get in touch with Chuck, man. He got his websites, man. YouTube channel.
Yeah. Or you go to my website, newwapianism.com. That's my claim to fame, destroying the whole Malachi York doctrine, pseudo doctrine that is, as well as on the case, etc.
As a pseudo doctrine.
I think the brother, if I remember the two heads, there is a Sumerian image of two males that they identify as being feminine. I don't know. That might be it, but.
I was wrong, Chuck. It was the Hyksos. It was the Hyksos. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, because there's two heads that they pop up, and there's two gay dudes that doing depiction that some Sumerian did embrace homosexuality.
Okay, I have my screen up.
Hold on, I want y'all to look at these new hoodies we got here, man. The winter's coming, man. Y'all see the hoodies right here, right? Gambia, all right, cultural. Y'all know Juju is going. They're going to Gambia. They getting on that plane tonight. And they're going over there because they doing that work, man. All right, her and Ladisha got an organization. They're going over there, man. International exchange. Y'all see this right here. Textile. Get this, man. That'll be a donation to what they doing. All right, the money being raised to help them. They bought computers and all that stuff over there, man. So we got t-shirts. Y'all see what it is, a fine design, man. And we got the hoodies and the t-shirts, man. So, just support them sisters, man, what we doing, man. Gambia. All right, y'all know how we going right here. It's always fire. It's coming right out to you. We ain't playing with that, man. All right, yeah. Go to the Ab Juice store, man, and type in the word Gambia. All right, Juju. All right, and yeah, man, that's gonna help support what they doing, man. Hey, Chuck, check this out, man. We appreciate you coming through, man. It was a great high-level conversation with you, man. We had some fun, cracked some jokes, right?
Yeah, man.
And we definitely appreciate you, bro. Good time, man, as usual, man. And it
It's
came
like old times, huh?
like old times.
Like old better man, Joe.
Yeah,
you know I'm the debate king when it came to that.
Debate king, boy. Shit.
But I'm retired now from that.
Yeah, I know you retired. You had to come back though. You came back. Back.
I'm back in another area now, but it's all good.
Yeah,
so I got about 19 more years left, so I'm going to enjoy it.
No, you might get more than that. Yo, shit.
I hope so, because everybody on my mother's side of the family, they live to be in the hundreds. So that's good. I hope so.
Real. That's real talk right there, yo. That's the all day everything, man. So yeah, like I said, we got the different joints. All right, y'all see them right here. All right, lightweight joints, man, and it's coming, man. We're gonna keep it like how we supposed to, man, because that's just what we doing, man.
Oh, I thought that was in gold.
No.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's in gold. In gold, like, wait up.
Is
that an African American who is in gold? Yeah,
sure. I thought that was him. Not my fault.
They in the game. Yeah, man. Say cool thing. He gonna get me wrapped up and he just come. I'm not arguing with you today, Shay Cool. I was having fun. I ain't messing with you. We'll come back another day. Hey, we're gonna set up an interview for you, Say Cool. You can slide on through and get your thing off. I ain't gonna interrupt you.
Okay.
Right, I appreciate you. I appreciate your growth.
Thanks, bro.
All right, Chuck, man. You out of here, Chuck. Appreciate you, man.
Solid.
Hey, man, y'all know we was live streaming on the Pseudo Killers all day. There you go, Chuck. There you go, Say Cool. I put that up for you, man.
Okay. So I will definitely. Okay. Let me deal with this very quick.
All right, go ahead.
Now that's black right there, Say Cool.
Okay.
That'll like Tom down the street.
This is Imhotep III, the grandfather of King Tut.
Okay.
This is his phenotype. This is his nose. This is his lips. This drawing is not edited. You can use Google authentication right now to check it. If you look at this person, you will say, he can be an African.
Yeah, in
Africa. Look at his hair. Look at his phenotype.
He's definitely an African. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Definitely Africans, yo.
Okay. He's not black.
But he ain't black. He's definitely an African, but he ain't black.
Yeah, he ain't black. Hell, West Africans not black. They don't come black till colonial powers come through and say you black and they white and they put you at the bottom. I don't like being at the bottom, yo.
Ding, 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 ding.
Now you're playing semantics.
We're not playing semantics.
Yeah.
No, that's a colonial, racist, wild thing, yo. And it was an attempt to separate the Egyptians from the rest of Africa, yo. You got to know that, bro, because they didn't call them black. They said the Nubians was black. So if the Nubians is black, then who the hell is the Egyptians? Crazy. It's a crazy story, bro.
The Greeks did not say that. The Greeks said they are all melanchrois, which means
really.
black.
They ain't say that. You made that up, yo. I ain't feel like arguing with you right now. I'm gonna get you. Big up to the Dosha, man. Support. Like I said, man, get them.
Yeah.
Man,
we need a show with Stay Cool. We definitely
get on there. We'll have some fun with Stay Cool. We're gonna get them. Stay Cool. No, we gonna get them.
All right. I will leave it tonight, man. I will come back with the entire presentation.
All right, that'll work. When you want to come back, you got my number, right? Stay Cool. You know you got it.
I don't think I have your number. I only have Sanetta's number.
You got my number, yo. When
if you put it in the
in the back. Oh.
Is there any private chat here? Let me see.
Yeah, it's right here. Here you go. You see
put it in the chat and I'll take it.
There you go.
I can come do a presentation.
Yeah,
they were definitely black, man.
We're gonna let you get that. We're gonna let you get that off.
Hey, Stay Cool. I want to ask you a favor. When you do your presentation, can you please bring a definition of what black is?
Yeah, I can do that.
Definition.
Okay, my man. Because I've been asking everybody.
It's a social construct. I'll put that very forward.
Thank you.
What?
It's a social construct. Like any.
There ain't no definition.
There is a definition.
Oh, come on, say cool.
That's a cop out. That's a cop out.
He says
He finna use racism to try to and make the Egyptians black. He finna use Egyptology. He finna use Egyptology to make the Egyptians black.
But they don't got
Racist, white
black. They just
supremacist thinking.
What's wrong with them being indigenous Africans, yo?
Were the Greeks white?
No.
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 Were the Romans white?
Nope.
Nope.
Huh.
They were Romans. They were Romans. They were Greeks. They were Romans.
They were
Romans and they were Greeks. And
hey,
they
say
were
cool. You know
Egyptians.
it's 2025, right?
Yeah,
That shit crazy.
No, at least your logic is consistent.
It's 2025. Yeah.
Hey, like I said, man, make sure y'all go to the site, get the shirts, man. That's gonna support their effort in Gambia, man. That's a great design there, Juju, man. That donation going right there, man. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cop me one. So go ahead and do that, man. Them ladies, man, they doing what the fellas not doing, yo. They feet on the ground.
Yeah, these materials are beautiful.
Yeah, they in a few hours, yo, they go in there. And that's all the love, man, for African people, man. They're not just talking the love and talking on YouTube, yo. They actually gonna be there, yo. They're gonna get some pictures, man. We're gonna let them come back on the show and just, that's love, man. They dealing with the young ladies over there, yo. I think it's important for women to teach the young ladies. I think it's important for African American women to set a standard and an example for women around the world, yo. How far have we came? I think it's important to go back and visit Africa. It's always been an important thing to do. But not only visit it on some kind of tour, you know what I mean, for your own selfish reasons, but to actually give. Philanthropy. Did I say it right? I hope I did. All right? That's what they doing over there. They're giving back. Right? We know for a fact Juju and them, they worked home first. They picked up the crack route right outside their damn door. And now they're on another continent, going back to the motherland and doing what they do. So go ahead, man, and support their movement and their efforts, man. All right? This money goes straight to them. Simple as that. All right? Yeah, you know how we say it around here. Yo, fuck with who fuck with you, yo. All right? We definitely messing with them ladies, man. Like I said, it's always the sisters, right? Just doing their thing. And both of them sisters, man, it looked out for me all the way, yo. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and lie, yo. It's the men I be fighting. Crazy as shit, man. Hey, show that love, man. Get them shirts, man. Whatever you thought you was gonna give me today, man, get them shirts, man. It's important, right? They in the airport. Right? They might be on the plane, about to crash the plane on them damn cell phones on the plane. You ain't supposed to be on the plane. But yeah, yo, we appreciate everything they do, yo. They boots on the ground for real. They will be in Gambia, man. Yep. That's real. Any last words there, Joe?
Hey man, it was a great show tonight, man. Chuck did pretty good. I really like what he shared, man. You can tell he been digging in real heavy. So hey man, my last thing, man, grab y'all tickets to this debate. It's about to be a slaying. Don't miss it. And it's gonna be some straightening out, man. I really believe Ankh gonna really teach a master class, man. You'll be able to walk out of there knowing all the stuff that people be messing up in this community over the past couple months. It'll be straight for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey man, get your ticket. Get that t-shirt right there. Mm-hmm. Get that, look at that. Get that hoodie. I'm gonna get mine soon. You ain't gotta worry about it, Juju. I'm gonna support. All right, that's it, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Sabio, be strong, bro. Hey, Sabio, don't hurt nobody, man. I know you wild out there. Sabio dangerous.
I'm not playing, Bobby. I ain't playing. What I do?
All right, Say Cool. Is Say Cool still on here?
No,
all right, man.
On with his Egyptian priest.
Oh, they go.
Gonna come back.
He gonna come back shooting, boy. He gonna have a machine gun. We in trouble. All right, man. Good night.
All right, man. Look, we out of here, man. That's the Pseudo Killer Community Skeptic collab. Y'all know what it is around here, man. Big up to all the pseudo killer officials, man. Juju, Miss Bennett, the Black Panther, man. They was all in here, man. We appreciate everything, man. Appreciate all y'all support. Asiatic 77 C1Q. Raymond Bear. 8415. Man, we appreciate everybody that slid through, man. And appreciate all the support, man. Y'all already know how we do it, man. We start off with the pseudo killer song, man. We're going to end with it, man. Because y'all know a pseudo always dies at their source, man. Make sure y'all support that damn debate, yo. Moderators, the link is pinned. It's going down 25th. Real. Yeah. Yeah, all day pseudo's down at their source, yo. Hey.
Bringing misinformation when that information ain't disinformation. That's disinformation. Gotta know the difference in information. Get information with the pseudo killer army hunting pseudo. Cause you gotta train your mind to fight against them pseudo judo. People with the scholarship salute, we give them kudos. But the people with that look of shit, we look and see straight through those like telescope. If you ain't speaking fast, we gotta tell them folks and let them know the truth. You bringing malinformation to blast, then you the Ku Klux. Like say, don't talk me to death, bro. What the proof of? Good juju chillin', why you wanna go way bad juju? Shalom boy got the tank in the cut. I'm in Sosa world plotting on the kick though with Kent. Come in Tiffany gave me the pseudo names on the list and said went and got the low. Anthony got him in the scope, Gullah and Gozy. Make sure DNA ain't a problem for them folks. Cause
hey, y'all know what it is, yo. Yeah, Reggie, you ain't answered that phone, Reggie. That damn phone, Reggie. And flippy floppy right back.
This is long time coming right here. Let them know that we right
hey.
running neck and neck with all other communities.
Right there. Hey, neck and neck. Yeah, like all other communities, man. Reaching for the levels, man. Appreciate that fire song. Man, we're not attacking the individual, man. We're attacking the information, man. Make sure y'all be at that pay-per-view, man, next week. Big Reggie, New York Reggie in the building. Asar live talking about we was standing there and he corrected the curator and went and changed the whole daggone that the thing. Asar Tepi said that me and you and him was at the Met Museum and the curator walked up and stood beside us and he read the curator some meta nutcha, yo. And he changed the shit on the, like, come on, man. Asar Tepi said that, yo. I tell you what, man. I'm your host, Bobby Banger. And with that, I'm out.